rest of the lyrics.
Now I can be heard. Can you be heard?
Can I be heard? Is anyone even watching us?
I think you can be heard. But oh, I need to set my monitor. All right, hold on. There's one more thing.
Yay! Thanks, Ricky.
I think you can be heard, and I need to set. Basically,
Good evening. I was telling
oh,
Dave
you
about
are
Guten
the
Abend.
worst.
Look at that. That's it. I was telling Dave about the junk, which actually looks worse for some reason, but I want to promise you it is in a better situation because there is less of it. It's just the process of getting less junk for some reason requires the
I can hear
perception of
nothing.
more junk being created. Does that make sense? Because you have to take all the junk out, right? No, this is a Who Gives a Crap, which is a recycled toilet paper
There we
bulk
go.
seller. I try not to use Amazon because,
I did it.
I'm woke or something. Whatever Elon Musk
Holy
says is
crap.
bad right now, that's probably what I am. Anyway, I do try to avoid Amazon at the moment. It's not always possible. But no, this is like bulk purchase toilet paper. It's pretty good, actually. I was like, ooh, recycled toilet paper. That's not going to be very good. But I'd recommend it.
Oh my god. I
I'm
am.
not sure if I like a box coming to my house though that says crap on it.
What? Why did we now have a different
Amazon,
logo?
it is too convenient. And the other part, like, first of all, like, Amazon Prime is too convenient and they have all the things I want. However, I will say that current Amazon, the problem is it's so full of scammy crap nowadays. I have seen so much bad stuff, just blatant rip-offs of brands, or or the thing that really pisses me off is they put something that looks like really cheap and looks like a really great bargain, but then when you click through, the shipping is like £50 or something.
Why?
Like it's like a £2 item, and they're like £50 for the shipping. It's an obvious scam, and I don't understand why Amazon can't stop that. That feels like something they can automate. Like where is this AI? This wonderful AI? Why is AI being designed to create art and do the creative stuff when when that's what I actually want fixing? Amazon Japan is better. Maybe,
Huh.
yeah.
I'm very confused because our link preview looks terrible now.
I can't tell you why, but yeah, I mean, so when I'm here, I get stuff. If I need something from Japan, I get it delivered from Amazon Japan. Um, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure if it's a smaller market, and that means that it hasn't been. It's. I feel like and nothing. This is not against China, but I feel like a lot of the scam is coming from Chinese sellers. They're or the stuff never arrives. I don't know. Not a big fan of Amazon at the moment. I'm getting told if I'm from a supermarket chain that offers delivery. Do you know what? I tried to do a supermarket delivery 2 days ago because I really needed rice. Like, if you live in the UK at the moment, I mean, everything is expensive, but Japanese rice is super expensive, and I can explicitly blame Brexit. By the way, if you're just joining us, we do talk about mahjong. Dave's just doing some
Eventually, yeah,
like technical
I'm
stuff,
dealing with our
so I'm
streaming
just kind
stuff.
of talking whilst I'm waiting for him. Anyway, so and I really, really, I want Japanese rice. Now, hilariously, most Japanese rice is not grown in Japan, right? It's grown in Italy or California. And I don't like the California stuff so much. I really like the Italy stuff, which is a real problem for someone who lives in a country that has Brexited. Um,
Ah, yeah, you're
so
straight out of luck
yeah,
then.
like the rice is ridiculously expensive. Anyway, I found a half decent. Yeah, nishiki. That's what I want. I want my nishiki, and I can't have it. Anyway, so like I'm there desperately like, and I found Sainsbury's cereal. Sainsbury's had a great deal, so I ordered. I'm like, fine, I'll just buy for the year. So I bought like 4 or 5 bags of this stuff. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to pay the delivery charge, so I'll just add some more stuff on. So I add, chopped tomatoes, regular stuff. Anyway, they send an email the day of the delivery. Oh, we can't put your bags of rice on. I'm like, well, I don't want any of it now. They still have to pay stupid delivery charge. I only wanted the nishiki.
It's wait, why is this? Do you need me to bring you some?
I might need you to bring. I'd accept the California rice now. Like normally, I really want the Italian rice, but I accept the California rice. I can't even find the California rice anymore.
That's rough.
Yeah, do you
Monthly
know what? Like
subscription.
so we don't really have a Chinese supermarket near us. I went to the Chinese supermarket in Plymouth, and they don't have nishiki.
Oh, boo.
Um, yeah, I mean they had like their generic like Japanese rice, but it wasn't like. I'm not being snobby, but rice is important. If you like rice, you like rice. I wanted my rice.
No, I do, I
Anyway,
do, I
so
do understand this actually. It's not trivial.
no,
And
it's like, it's like bread, right? If you like a type of bread, you like a type of bread.
yeah, and a replacement is not going to just like magically be fine.
No, no, and that's the other thing as well, because I specifically put when I made the tubaca, do not give me any substitutes, because I put a substitute, and I knew if I allowed them to substitute, I'd end up with like huge bags of basmati rice because that's what British people think is, yeah, exactly, Uncle Ben's,
Uncle Ben's.
exactly, like
Uncle Ben. I don't think they do they call it. I don't think they call it that anymore.
oh, it's called Uncle Ben's here. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's changed,
I think they've
but
changed it. Yeah, they're changing the name and logo to Ben's Original.
in the UK as well.
I don't know, here at least.
I'm pretty. I don't really. Honestly, I don't even think about Uncle Ben's face. I got to be honest. All I think about is bad microwave rice.
No,
That's the offense here.
Uncle Ben's is a problematic brand, so I think it's not
Mm. No,
wrong.
I mean, no, they should change it if it's a problematic brand. I'd be surprised if they changed it in the UK because I don't think we perceive it as to be
No, you don't.
racist.
You don't have that whole set of symbolism that Uncle Ben's is kind
Right.
of associated with. So it's like it's not.
And it's a
Again, I don't
big
think
brand
anyone's
name. I mean, like
deliberately trying to be
CRA
terrible
and
either.
yeah,
Like,
CRA and I can be like, oh my god, Uncle Ben's is the worst rice.
oh, it's not. No,
However,
it's not good. It's not about the quality. It's not good rice. Like
no,
I
but
agree. It's
let's
bad
be
rice.
honest. Like that's a strong brand name in this country. If you said Uncle Ben's, everyone knows what you're getting. Everyone, right?
Mm,
It's
mm.
this orange packet with the microwave rice.
No one knows the microwave
Anyway,
rice. All right.
anyway, so I didn't get my rice. I'm surrounded in a pile of junk still. I've been playing some really bad
Oh
mahjong. No,
no.
no, no. My mahjong actually improved a bit this week, but overall, I'm still in this kind of downtrend. Um,
I didn't play any new mahjong this week. I felt good about my mahjong last week. I feel like I'm in a zone. It's not that like
yeah.
magical I always win zone, but I'm in a zone where good things are happening
Are you in the
overall.
zone where you can see into the matrix? Because I like
No,
that
no, no.
when
I,
I
I love when
oh
I get into that zone when I'm just
yeah,
like,
that's like I
I know
don't
what I'm
even
gonna
care if
draw
I'm
next, and I'm like,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh really? It's not like if I can see what other people are doing. Like I just don't care if I lose even. If I throw into them, but I knew I was throwing into them, I'm like, this is
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is where I need to be.
I love, yeah, and you get into that vibe. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I was looking around. People were talking about reading this digital mahjong book, and I was laughing a little bit. Also, this is my Dave's hot mahjong opinions. Um, where like a lot of people are like, oh, I read the digital mahjong book. Digital mahjong book is so great, and all these people talking about reading the digital mahjong book are people who really like. I sigh because the problem that I have, it's like one of those things where it's like I appreciate a lot of the things that go into digital mahjong strategy. I appreciate math and
Yes.
statistics and probability
Yes.
and all of that, but I never
Yes.
appreciate, this is a common rant of mine. I never appreciate the people who seem to take this to this extreme where they're like, this means that beep boop beep. In this situation, you must do this. In that situation, you must do that. That's what it all means. And they go on
Yeah.
and on about this digital mahjong book. The guy wrote it's a great play. I find a translation. It's an amazing player, strong player, wonderful, smart guy. And I go and I look at the book. And I look at the book, and in the book, there's some like strategies that always, that are common. Maybe you should do something different or these things. And there's some decent statistical reasons why certain things are good. Seems like,
Yeah.
this person knows what they're doing. They might know a lot of they might know a lot of what they're doing. This is obviously not a dumb book written by a stupid person. But then at the end of all these chapters is this paragraph, and the paragraph basically says all of this stuff is great. So what you should do is think about it and try to understand the best situations in which you apply it. And I'm like, yes, that's the part nobody friggin' reads.
I
Like,
think because people, yeah, but people want like a decision tree basically, right? If you
right.
see this, do
When,
this, and
when I engage with that, I'm like, again, maybe I'm just doing too hot of a take here, but it's like, why do you hate this game? Because that is a pretty hot. This problem I can't read. Fascinating. Come on, man, you got to learn to read. Why are you watching the stream when you could learn to read? I feel like I hear people all the time going on and on and on about EV this and EV that and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, EV is a real concept, but like if you're gonna be like EV says push, like if you're gonna look just at my hand and be like EV says push, it's like I don't know, man. You didn't look at the game situation. You didn't look at anyone
yeah,
else's discards. You didn't look at
and
any of the context, and so
I have yeah, I've rarely seen a bad theory. I have seen theories applied badly.
yeah, it's like EV is a real number, and EV should factor in to what I'm considering here. but it's one factor. There's a lot of factors. Like, you can't just play on EV alone. It's not the only thing you do.
I wonder if it's a product of the fact that our modern lives, so much of it is interacting with robots, right? You interact with your Alexa, you interact with Siri,
I do
and,
not.
and you get predictable outcomes out of those most of the time. Or we trick ourselves into thinking that the AI is predictable, but it's not.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
that's another distraction.
Yeah.
However, we're so used to interacting with computers and all of that we expect that if I click a button, this will happen, and we kind of try and apply that to mahjong. But mahjong, it's not like that because we're playing with humans, imperfect humans.
I mean, okay, I will accept that. If you could come up with an equation that attempts to factor it all in. You could try, and you could try to refine that model. You definitely could, but you got to be factoring it in.
And you'd have to change that model constantly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, constantly. You would have to be changing, from day to day, because I've watched the meta on Run change over the years.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like the meta, the players you're playing with, that's just going to change how everything is for you as well. I'm gonna pull up a game.
I was looking at my PowerPoints to see if I could give people another sort of PowerPoint. But you know what?
So this time around, let's try something a little different. Let's watch the player who came in last.
Oh,
see what they do.
Was it you?
No, none of these are my games.
Okay.
And I don't even have the wall up, so Gemma can't yell at me. So we can see what happened to the player who came in last. Yeah, and I agree, Peasant. There's so many variables you can't. You can hypothesize, you can theorize, you can try to figure it out. You can try to get in that zone where you know what and see what's going on, but you can't just math it out. And that's what makes it still fun to play. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but at the point at which a game is so mathed out. Good morning, Iron Tromboni. I say Iron Tromboni because I like trombones. It's Iron Tromboni, but I love trombones because I play trombones. But like a game that's so mathed out that a computer can play it better than me, I don't need to play it anymore. Computer.
Mahjong probably can. So AI probably can play Mahjong better than us now.
From what I've seen, it looks like the AIs that can play Mahjong are very good. But I think a top tier human player could challenge them.
Oh, I think so, and that's what makes. And also, I'd like to point out that all of these AI are trained on Tenho. I'd like to see, and I'm not sure if it's ever possible, but I'd like to see them take AI out of the Tenho environment and see how it would do in a league environment, for example.
So referring to that's a good question. I think that for less experienced players, again, and I've said this consistently, and I'll keep saying it, it is very good to learn your statistics and learn your EV. Learn about the math of the game so you know what's really probable versus what's really not probable. Those are great things to learn. Just remember it's one tool in your toolkit. And you should be applying it and keeping track. Sure. Kabe is very much a statistical thing. But like, remember there's more going on.
I think for inexperienced players, it becomes a bit of a comfort blanket, right?
A little bit.
They lean into it too much and they rely on it too much. And then, I've seen people become enraged because, someone became enraged at me because I did something that was not the EV play. and they, they couldn't read my discards because I was not playing the EV way. And therefore, it was almost like an insult. But if everyone was playing the exact same way, it's not a game, He threw into me. What can I say? I saw how he was playing. I saw the sort of player he was, very efficient, and I assumed that if I had this weight, he wouldn't see it and he'd play into me. And I was right.
Right. That's exactly what I learned playing against very, very advanced players when I've had that wonderful opportunity. Is if you play hard efficiency against those players, they figure it out pretty quick and they start building the weird off weights. And they might not get you this time or next time, but they'll get you because the structure of what you're doing is pretty predictable. And that's you get into this higher level metagame.
And if you're watching M League, this is the sort of thing where I've seen people are watching M League and they do something that's really kind of out there from a Western player perspective, and but from a Japanese perspective, it's not that crazy. We can see that they're sort of
You did not
They're
troll
not
Nova.
they're not taking the
Not
efficient
yet.
thing. What they're doing is they've chosen a destination and they're working out how to get there.
We're
Right? They're
saving
not
the
doing
announcement
EV.
for last so that you all have to watch us.
Oh, it's a good announcement though, Charles. Are we
Yeah.
really saying until last? No, we have to. Can't be last because we got to have a conversation about
No,
it
no,
as
not
well.
last. Not last. But yeah, I
No,
agree,
we
Fury.
can't.
That
We could make the announcement at any point, Charles. So you have to stay
yeah,
listening.
it could happen at any moment. Our hot Twitch drops are coming. But yeah, Fury, that's the thing. It's like I feel like know it, definitely learn it. I will never discourage anyone from learning new things. I won't point at these things and be like, oh, that's dumb or useless. I think it's very useful. It's very smart. Know it, but you have to recognize that it's not the answer. It's not the only thing you can do. And
And
again,
also,
it's like
your opponents may not know EV,
oh, that's
or
also true.
worse, they may know EV and be playing against EV.
That's worse. Like opponents who don't know, opponents who just don't know it will just charge forward and sometimes win, and it's frustrating. But like opponents who do know it will like carefully walk forward and dodge your things, and then trick you into giving them points.
No, and this is mahjong. I think that sometimes the conversation is lacking is this ability to trick, to shadow, to copy, to all of these kind of techniques. We don't have that conversation in the West yet, and I would really like it if we could start building that conversation. You know, this is more like Sun Tzu Art of War than chess.
Yeah. And it is something that really only starts to shine when everyone at the table has a good level of experience. And so you can start being like, this person's doing this person's doing that. And when you're playing with mostly beginners, it's a whole different universe, because they're going to do things that, you know, are a little wild, are a little reckless, and not because they're making calculated plays, but because they don't know yet, they're learning.
Yeah, and you know, of course, you know, earlier players tend to be
next level
attracted to things like flushes and, you know,
oh god,
the easier to remember Yaku.
Love their flushes.
Well, it's an easy to remember one, right? And they're not wrong.
And it's
You
two,
know,
and you can make it with any sets.
Yeah. And I would highly recommend, if you're a beginner listening, like that's not wrong, because the other Yaku are a bit complicated. You know, your pinfu, or can your sand shocker be open? Does it have to be closed? All of these things can be really difficult. But if you're sat at the table, just play. And if what you're playing is flash, fine.
Yeah, you'll learn sooner or later. Again, I tell people that all the time. Like, just play this. Go to make this pattern. Just make this pattern. You'll learn when it works. You'll learn when it doesn't. You'll learn what tiles in your hand are useful for this and what tiles are not so useful for it. You'll learn.
Did we already talk for 20 minutes about?
Yeah, we babbled a lot. All right, so let's look at this is our last place player in this game. The hand's just started. They have these 3 Wests, which I actually really like. This is a nice thing in my mind, because the rest of this hand tells me I might not be getting anywhere. So with 3 Wests, I have a lot of safety hanging out in case I want to bail. And if everything goes really well for me, maybe I push ahead.
I think you really want to be like, I'd be, you know, on the fold scale, this is like 7.
A 7 or 8 on the fold scale, on the foldometer. Yeah, the 369 is terrible. I hate that. The 125 is not so great. The 557 has potential, but like that's the only part of your hand that has real potential.
And there's no value.
No,
like, where's your value coming from? There's nothing.
But those 3 Wests, again, those 3 Wests mean you can play forward and have 3 safe tiles chilling in your hand that, again, if everything goes magically awesome for you, you can still use.
I mean, so I'm Tambani. I think the problem is, you know, when people say, is this kind of information available to Western players? It's difficult to say it's possible to make it, you know, like yeah, sure, you could write a book. I'm not sure that people would understand it. The best way is for us to talk about it, right? It's the discussion, and that's how we learn as a group. You know, I'm always kind of hesitant to be like, okay, well, we should translate something from Japan and publish it. I'm not always sure that's the best way, because you know, first of all, you often kind of breaking all of the steps you need to get to as a community to arrive at that point, right?
Time for you to write a book.
You can't, time for you to write a book. So I'm always concerned about that. And, you know, I think Mahjong is a collaborative competition, basically. And I think, you know, the strategy has to be collaborative as well. You know, my one of the other concern, several concerns actually, this is my second concern, is that when Richie Book Ron came out, Dinah Chiba's book, which is great, if you haven't read it, you should read it. However, as soon as that book came out and everyone read it, it became piss easy for me to beat you. Because I read that book, and whilst everyone was like, all right, we've got the strategy book, guys, let's just do that. And I was like, oh, wow, you're all playing the exact same way.
You're playing Richie Book 1 Mahjong, yeah. So now we know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
as a
I was
researcher.
just gonna, yeah. I mean, yeah, resources. I mean, that's a good point, Ian Tom. And so when you say resources, I maybe I should write something. Maybe that's something I should do. Um,
I'm gonna
the
be.
other
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
the other thing I would suggest is, and I think this has been a negative in our community, pre-COVID. I'm not sure if it's such a negative community at the moment, but when people wrote strategy articles that may not have been what I would consider the best strategy articles, but the reception by places like, Discord channels and stuff. Hi, Donny. I did know it was you, but I didn't want to out
Oh,
you until you said
we
that.
know,
So that people had written, like,
and it's good to see you.
people were really negative about this person who had put themselves out there. They'd written a
Yeah,
strategy article. Now, I didn't agree with it entirely, but I would challenge that. You write your follow-up article, write a comment on there, and challenge. Well, actually, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Don't go for them personally, and that's what we experienced at a point in the community, and I think that's really negative. I would recommend, people should just write,
I think
their theory.
I think a lot of that comes from this desire simmering within the player base for there to be right answers.
Mm.
And so when someone writes something they think is wrong, I mean, here's the problem. I could probably, if I'm going to sit there and pore over the books available in Japan, I could probably find a book that supports almost any strategy I want. At some point,
Mm.
someone's probably written something that seems official, or they have backing, or they're a pro, or something like that, that says almost anything I want to believe about Mahjong. I could say Mahjong's
Mm.
all dependent on my astrological sign. I bet I could find a book about that. I bet I could find a book that I could then wave and everyone say, well, this book in Japan says it's all about your astrological sign, so you're wrong. And it's like,
That book
that's
definitely exists.
and it's like that's not really how this works. Yeah, exactly. What you want to do is you want to increase the conversation. Someone tells me you should always discard your honors first. They write an article, you should always discard your honors first, and here's why. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. If I write an
Yeah.
article saying, this is a big competent dialogue, but I think this way, I don't need to crap on them. I don't need to call them
I,
terrible. But now we have more dialogue. We have more stuff going on. We have more, things for people to engage with. And I think that's important. Ooh, blood type.
Blood type lab, yeah. I think, yeah, so I think I have heard people disagree with Tenhoi. And if you go, so those who were we did come to the crash course in Japan, which if you don't know about it, that was before COVID and the before times. I took two groups over and went to JPML, and we had a whole week of like intensive strategy training. And that was a conversation, right? But even so, if you're in that environment and the environment I learned Mahjong in, I'd sat there and I'd do something, and my mentor would come over and he'd be like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that, but he would do that." There
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
there's this like, okay, there were these competing ideas about what's right, even within the same league, of people who are the same status.
And that was, in my opinion, that was actually one of the coolest things. I've
Mm.
probably opined on this before. I thought it was super cool that it was like they play so much, they know so much, they know all these different strategies and mindset that they can say with confidence, yeah, like that guy would do that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
do that. Garth would do that.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And that's it. It's a very fluid. Again, it's kind of maybe the first thing we need to do is kind of dispel this myth that there is one winning strategy, and if and I know that people say, well, like the winning strategy is just to like an AI basically absorb as much data as possible until I become so bloated that I can win against everything. I'm just not sure that's ever possible.
I like this, Pesnator. I like this a lot. I think, yes, we should associate Ichiaku with a tractor, which is far better. Then
Pez,
we can make a gotcha game where you have to get all the tractors, but the tractors are inexplicably represented by anime women.
Dave, quickly write
Sorry.
the code now.
I'm cutting the stream now. I have to go do this. Can't let anyone
You
steal
can
this
make us all
genius
millionaires.
idea.
Exactly.
By the way, Squeaky, we were joking about that the
I
other
was about
day
to say,
about how,
Pez is outing himself as a country folk now,
that's
I'm
true.
afraid.
We were joking about that with the idea that pros never discard the door, or pros never wait on the door. And we're like, well, if I was a pro, I'd for sure say that, so that I just tell them, oh yeah, pros never wait on the door, and then they deal the door, and I'd win all the time.
But it's I mean, if everyone, I don't know the history of chess very, very well. However, I read some about it because I was interested in how it kind of applied to Mahjong, and it does apply to Mahjong. That through the 1700s, 1800s, there were these ideas that there was a right way to play. Right, you shouldn't make this move; you should always make that move. Right, and then it became more decorative rather than actual play. And Mahjong sometimes can be like that. That there are these kind of fads that go through.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't do this, but you should do that. And if you do that, you're a bad player. If you do this, you're a good player. And those fads are always bullshit.
It's very interesting because, like, For the throw, you're right, Troll. If we had an AI that was really sucking up the actual play data, it would probably like learn to take different choices in different situations due to context because the AI is using like neural nets based on the entire picture. If you feed it the entire picture, if you feed the AI just like this is your hand, what do you do? It'll probably play hard efficiency. If you feed the AI this is the table, what do you do? It'll probably learn to absorb some of those factors just through sheer brute force.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, it reminds me a little bit of Bridge. I don't know if you've ever played Contract Bridge, but the interesting thing about Contract Bridge is at the beginning of Contract Bridge, you bid on how many tricks to take. You're going to take, and you do that bid based on what you see in your hand. And the fun thing about Contract Bridge, interesting thing that's relevant is there's actually rules. Like what you're trying to do with the bid is convey to your teammate some information about what you kind of have in your hand, so they know what's going on.
You've got to do that. I'm putting my lipstick on. That means this.
Yeah, well, you can't. You're not allowed to do that. But you're trying through your bidding strategy.
My gran was a Contract Bridge player. Jesus Christ, those people are fucking cutthroat.
Yeah. And so there's rules about what you have to bid based on what's in your hand. You have to be going by like a known flow chart that your opponents are aware of, so your opponents can get the same information. That like it's a whole thing, and that's kind of this weird ossified like the bidding process is this way we collaborate. But now, like, we have these fixed rules that we have to do it this way because there's the right move to bid, the right way to bid. And deliberately trying to do weird or wrong moves to trick people or fake people out is just forbidden by the rules of the game. It's super strange. It's super interesting.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's why I find Mahjong attractive. Cool. And I think the risk, for some people, they come in and they want to play the tiles, they want to play the EV.
Again, if you're brand new, that's not a terrible starting point. It's a fine starting point.
But Mahjong is a game about playing three other people. It is a game about playing people, not a computer, not a flowchart, not a decision tree. Yeah. It is playing people. Flawed, optimization stupid is good. People. Oh, no, of course. Yeah. But just recognize you're playing three people who are almost definitely flawed. Unless you're sat opposite me, and then what can I say?
Yeah, perfect.
But you are playing flawed people. And you know what's funny? It's the point where I recognize that I gravitate towards certain tiles just because I like them. There's no reason other than I've decided that's a lucky tile. And that does impact my play. In a way that if you were to put me in front of an AI who'd never met me before, you hadn't shoved it full of my game data yet,
it would struggle probably to
recognize. Struggle to recognize that my total irrational, superstitious desire to wait on the 3-pin impacts my choices in ways that I don't also understand. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Being human changes things.
Yeah, being human. And this is why, as we sit in the great new world of Chat GPT, I think, I spend a lot of time now wondering why the hell are we making AI that can do the things that humans love to do? Why can't we spend our time making AI that could literally just print a document without screaming that it needs the cyan color changed? It's a black and white document, for fuck's sake. This we get AI to do all the great things. We don't get AI to do the stupid ass things.
Ooh. Hot Carlson gossip.
Magnus Carlsen. Not Tucker Carlson. I was about to say.
No, to be fair, that does actually sound like both Carlsons.
Yeah, because I only read Recky's and I was like, not Tucker.
All right, we should probably look at this Mahjong. We've talked a lot about theory.
Yeah, okay, so just this hand's a fold.
This hand looks like a fold.
You've got plenty to go for. I probably wouldn't even care what I drew. I would be positioning myself for folding.
What about our dealer? Our dealer is also in a weird spot. Their hand's not very good either, but they're the dealer, so they got to try at least, right?
They've got to try, yeah. I mean, sucks to be him, but got to try. Yeah. I mean, here you're probably thinking, you've got a red dragon. You've got a potential straight there, actually. I wouldn't rule out straight.
8, 9. Yeah, that's not bad.
Because you can call it through. I mean, you can be a bit more aggressive as the dealer. Yeah. So, I mean, the immediate throws are probably the west and the north or the 9-pin.
Drain some of these out.
I probably throw the 9-pin just in case there's a flush chance on this. A 9-pin, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a very mild flush chance, so I might throw the 1-pin or the 9-pin just to be like,
yeah,
these things are definitely not going to be helpful. I think the 1-pin's the even better throw because you have the 4s already, so it cuts off basically nothing. But yeah, that's a rough one. Player cross, we got 6-7, we got 3-4.
Sucks as well.
Yeah. No one has an awesome hand. I guess player left has this 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, West I'd definitely be that's one. I mean, you've got one group there, you've got your pair, you've got another 2 proto groups. This one I'm gonna noodle, as Dave calls it.
You're gonna noodle. Oh, you're gonna
I'm
noodle.
gonna
It's
noodle. I'm
noodling
gonna
time.
noodle. See how I can see if I can get there or not.
All right.
Right.
So let's do our
Should we
first
go
6
to the?
discards.
Yeah, first. That's what I say. Yeah, because you've managed to talk 30 minutes
I
about
know.
it.
I'm sorry.
So...
We had a lot of ideas. 5.
Pum.
We have a call. That's 6.
Pum.
6. Oh god. All right. So what have we done here? What's happened? So we'll take the draw for the dealer. So our dealer has called twice. And it looks like they're angling for just toy, just straight up toy, because they kept those 9s.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, they could have gone for Tanya, but toy's worth 2. They got early calls.
No, yeah.
It's not a terrible weight.
No, the 4-pin is the nasty
Yeah,
element of this toy.
But that could be the pair if they get the 8-9 man, and the 8-9 man is not unattainable. I don't think. I think the 8s and 9s are very possibly going to come out. Oh, there's only one 9 left. Although looking at the state, that 9's gonna come out for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
would I have done it? Probably would have been a bit more coy. Maybe thought about having a bit of a whatchamacallit, more simple as a Tanyao.
Yeah, but the only non-Tanya disc they did was this 4-man. Like,
yeah, but you've got these 9-mans that are in there. I don't know. I think they're playing good. I think that's considering they had such a shitty hand to start with, that's not bad.
If they'd held the 4-man and thrown one of the 9-mans, they could be waiting for the 4, 5, 6, and then wait on the 8 or the 4 for Tanya. But that's really the only divergent path they had available to them. So I agree. I think they've done just fine. Our player across, wow, they sure have improved what they've got. They now have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 6.
Although, why do you hate Sanshoku? Like, this is maybe Gemma strategy here. But if I'm going to push something and I'm not the dealer and I'm going to push against the dealer, and the dealer here, your red flag should be up because the 4-man has come out of a fairly regular discard pool. So he won away already.
He's close.
He's got something, right? So for me here, I would probably I'd probably kept the 6 bamboo and thrown the 4-man.
Yeah, like
because if I have a Tanya,
weight is good, but at the same time,
it could potentially have 0 value.
Sanshoku. Well, it could be what? Reach pin Futanyo's 3. That's not bad. Oh, but you can get the 9 if you didn't lose Tanyo.
Right, exactly. I would say that a Tanyao, Sanshoku, potentially Riichi, potentially Pinfu. These are things that you think about, and you could have thrown the 4-man into that and kept that 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku alive. And yeah, sure, it's not a 3-sided weight.
So I would consider that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, dealer did discard the green dragon. Do you know what?
No one took it, so it's pretty safe. But I don't know if that means a dealer. The green dragon is an odd tile.
No, I think Pez is right. I think I kind of glossed over that. I should have noticed the Dora throw. Yeah, I mean, he's thrown the Dora, and then later he's thrown other tiles out of his hand. I don't know if it's a he. Sorry, I'm doing the British he, in that he.
There are no residents.
Any gender. Sorry. So they threw the green dragon. So and then they've thrown the 4-man out. So it suggests that they're definitely Tenpai. We know they're not Tenpai, but I would definitely be going like, oh, this is person's Tenpai. Why else are they doing this? I think, yeah. I think you're right, Pez. I neglected the Dora throw. I think those 2 throws together are really concerning. What is interesting is that straight after that Dora throw... Oh, no, is it after the Dora throw? Who threw the Dora first?
Let's go back. Because, the Hats got thrown, then the Chun got thrown out of the hand.
Because if the Hats got thrown after the other Hats, I can't work out.
The Hats got thrown first over the Chun, which I guess is take care of the dangerous tile first. And then players followed immediately saying, well, they don't need it, then I'm getting rid of it too. So now the Hats is dead.
Yeah. So if I'm anyone who is not at the moment East and South, I can deduce from this Dora shenanigans that East and South are in it and they want to win. So in our protagonist seat here as North, just fold.
Probably yes.
Just fold. It is not worth it. Whatever they're doing, they don't need Dora, and you are far, far away from goodies.
The only thing that's going to get you value is like a concealed half flush or 3 tiles away from that.
Yeah,
you should probably.
Here is where you throw, and this is maybe the move I don't think I see enough in Western player communities.
Yeah, just
You
walk
can
away.
throw
It's fine.
you can throw here without a significant trigger. You don't have to wait until someone's reached. You can throw here. You keep your 30,000 points and you wait for the next hand.
And just for people's information, interestingly enough, think about the hand of player across. Like reach Pinfu Tanya, that's 3. But Tanyao Sanshoku is also 3. Like going for that 6-7-8 isn't awesome because you have that closed 6-8 weight. But like it's very easy for you. If you do get Tenpai on it, you'll be Tenpai on Tanyao minimum, so you'll still retain the ability to win and shut the game down. And if you get the Sanshoku, you're already Tenpai on 3. And then you can decide to reach if you want to. Like there's actually a lot of control you get in dominating that and letting your hand get to the shape where you have the option of shutting the game down.
I mean, this is kind of why I like Sanshoku. I feel like it puts you a little bit more in the driver's seat than, for example, Ipeco, that people seem to like for reasons I've never understood. Ipeco is just ugly. Like
so much
Sanshoku is Sanshoku is just so hot. I don't understand why people don't see that. I'm trying to think of a celebrity who Snape. Snape was hot and no one seemed to see it.
All right.
I wish I could see Dave's face live on that one.
All right. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what happens in our next set of discards here. So the 6 does come out.
Reach.
All right. So now we get a reach from our player in West.
Pom.
Which gets called by the dealer, but I just want these words to fade away. Thank you. Our player...
Really? You'd reach... Wait, no, stop. We need to talk about that reach.
Let's talk about the reach. I want to talk about the reach. We're very close to a full flush. It's very early in the game. This is reach Pinfu Ipeco. So it's 3. It's not a valueless hand, but like... You're so close.
Why not just try?
You're so close.
You could have 5. You could have 5.
I mean, what you can do is just Dama this. Dama this. Retain the ability to shut the game down if you want to.
Pico never replies to my text. They don't. That's why they suck. Sanshoku's always there. You turn over your hand. Oh, he's there again. It's always there for you. He always shows up. Replies to your text within minutes. Anyway, sorry. I really don't get why this player didn't fancy a full flush.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's my question is, why didn't you see if you could upgrade this, especially because you can get into a Dama Tenpai position for 2-han, Pinfu Ipeco. Yeah. And like you lose very little, and you have the ability to push forward. You have the ability to get stuff done. But they did not want to do it.
And also, let's say you draw in. I mean, Dora's kind of dead on this, I guess. But no, I would have.
RC
I would have wanted
the chance to push a little towards the flush because the 7 has been thrown and the 7 is safe. All right, they're gonna try.
It's a risk. It's a risk, man.
here's an extra 1 pin. They're playing safe.
Oh god, I want that 1 pin back.
Okay. This 5-man throw is a little risky. I don't know why. You know why? I don't know. They don't want to throw pin tiles, I guess. But you got the Wests. Like, don't do this. Don't do this to yourself.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
You don't need to do that. The other players, like the dealer, will do it. The dealer will throw whatever. Like, let the dealer pave the way for you. Let the dealer take the risk, and then you follow safely behind.
And I said you don't need to be in this hand. Fold, just fold. Many discards ago.
And now we have the reach from player across for their reach Pinfu Tanya. Well, reach Pinfu maybe Tanya on the 3-sided weight.
I mean,
definitely
maybe
Tanya now that the 9. Actually, the 9s are dead, so it's guaranteed to be reach Pinfu Tanya.
I mean, is this the curse of East 1? Everyone's like there, like at the box, like I'm gonna go, and as soon as they got it, like they're right out.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, this player, we go back to a much safer pick, the 3-pin that just came out. I mean, they seem to understand how to play safe. They're just not sure what they want to do here. East is pretty darn safe. I guess dealer could have been waiting on an East pair, but that'd be a little treacherous. There's only 1
holding
left.
a 7-pin.
The dealer cons to flip south as a new Dora. I don't know if you want to do that. Oh, they're Tenpai. So it's not the worst play. They're Tenpai. They are ready to win. They're pushing it. Yeah. It's not insane. Yeah. I'm not gonna.
And you get yourself another draw, and you have Tenpai.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I do it. I do this, Cam.
And there we go. Our player in reach deals into the dealer. For the old Toy 2 and 40, 3,900.
And that's the thing, like, if they'd have kept that one, they could have called the 2 or the 3 that came out, and they'd have just had a better hand.
Yeah. They could. I mean, I think they would have thrown this tile anyway, though. This 8 would never have had a place in their
Well,
hand, so
no,
there's
because
no
if they'd
avoiding
have
it.
called, they'd have had
Oh, well,
different
yeah, they
draw.
would have had different draws. But you can't rely on that. That's another thing. That's an occult thing to rely on, to be fair. To be like, well, if I called, my whole flow would have been different. Then I never would have gotten the tiles that were bad for me.
I was about to
Which is
say,
entirely
you
true.
can tell,
But
you can tell who used to play blackjack. Cause
yeah. But it's true that they had a lot of... Yeah, the Open Con didn't even bring them to 50, but I think they wanted the extra draw, and maybe they did.
yeah, I think
But
they
with
want
2 other players in reach, I don't know if I would have done that.
They are dealer.
They already... And they also don't have to throw the 2, which maybe mattered to them.
I don't know. You can rob the can, surely.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You
In
can
this
rub the
case.
con. So yeah, they still effectively are throwing the 2.
I am defending this player. I think I'd have done it as well. You
the
are
5
the dealer.
The 5 had come out against the reaches, so you knew the 5 was safe. So they're not on the 2-5 weight. So they could be on. They can't be on the pair weight for the 2s. It would have to be like a 1-3 weight.
No, they can't. There's no. Attention to the can daughter.
To rob. I'd say this is a reasonable play. I'd call this a reasonable play. Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, so hand ended. Dealer wins some points. Dealer gets to continue. What do we got now? Oh, this hand. Oh, I like the 3-3-4-4-7-7. I don't like the other half of it. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Our dealer, 1, 2, 1, 4.
I think
6, 9.
these are the kind of hands that make you lose points.
A little bit. There's hope in them, and you shouldn't maybe be
It's
reaching.
just there's just a glimmer of hope, and it's the glimmer of hope that kills you.
I love Iveco. Iveco's so good.
Why? Why? Always lets you down.
Actually, dealer hand is better than I thought because I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They got 5, 5, 6. They got 4, 6. They got stuff.
Them.
You can change them. It won't be this way again. I promise. Player across is a great 5, 5, 5, 6 shape, but not much else. Some gut weight shapes. Player left, they've got their chuns, and that's it. Yeah, Chijo's got lots of weird weights. All right. So what are we thinking? I'm thinking I don't want to fold this hand, but at the same time, I mean, I'm in second place. Maybe I don't have to worry that much because everyone else has to do more work than me. And this is something that people don't look at, and you should be looking at this. Who at this table has to do work? Who at this table feels like they're going to have to push to make some points right now? The dealer wants to keep dealing, sure, but they're winning. South probably isn't incredibly motivated. They're like 1K out of second. It's not that big a deal. But West is probably going to be feeling a sting, and West is probably going to want to push and get back. They don't want to feel this game slip away from them. These are the people things, like the people things to think about. So watch out for West here, because West might decide it's time to really go. And you learn this about the people you play with, how they react to these situations. So you see the texture of the game. So what should we be doing? Do we think are we hard folding this? I think we're not hard folding this.
I'm noodling. I mean,
yeah, I think it's a noodle time.
I don't know. I really don't want to lose points to whatever. I feel like my gut here makes me think that this is going to become more volatile. East has got a little bit of fire in them now. And also, the door is on the 9-man, which is really difficult to incorporate. At least, I don't know. It's the 9-man, so then there's the other argument that probably someone, it'd be obvious if someone's got 9-man, so then maybe you can push. I don't know.
This depends on your environment. For example, playing in an environment with many inexperienced players, this can be a deadly situation. Because if I'm West and every other player at this table goes nuts making fast called 1 or 2 Han hands, this game could very easily just slip away from me if I don't get something done. Because they'll just push the game forward. We'll go from East 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait. But you haven't had your dealership yet.
I know. I'm just saying, you can't ignore that problem.
No. I mean, you're still short tile. I think go to the first draw maybe, and then it'll be easier to make a decision. No, to my first draw, North's first draw.
You should. I think you should always be looking at score gaps because people feel it. When someone deals in and loses points, they feel it. And it's very rare that it completely does not impact their decision making for the next round.
I don't like this. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be positioning myself for a fold again.
Well,
You know, unless I get some stunningly good draws in the first 3 draws and discards, I am not playing this.
yeah, I'd probably hold on to the honors, throw the 1 pin, and just hope maybe something cool happens. But I'm gonna be really clutching those honors right now because I don't wanna play this
Yeah,
either. It's not that great.
no,
Let's go through our
no.
first 6 and see what happens.
Boom.
6, 6, 6, 6. Okay. So here's where we're at now. It got better.
No, I wouldn't have thrown the green dragon or the red dragon. If you're going to do a flush, do a flush. Don't piss about.
Yeah, that's true. Holding the 7s and the 9, I probably would have. Yeah, I'm the kind of player who would have been like, this hand is only worth it if it's a flush. So I'm just gonna cut straight to the flush. And
Yeah, but the problem is then, let's say that someone's waiting on that suit. You're screwed.
no, but
There's no way out
I
of it.
would have discarded the 7s and 9 earlier, and held the honors,
Yeah,
and been like, let's
yeah.
drive straight there, because the only way this is worth anything is if we get there. So we don't need to worry about the possibility of getting 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku. Although 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku was a live possibility with this hand.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
I'm gonna go back. I want to see how well did we see that. Not very. Oh, that sucks. We threw the 7 because it's isolated, and then we immediately draw the 8. Nah.
I just think that's bad luck.
Boom.
There wasn't enough material there to say that you shouldn't have, gotten rid of it. So where's everyone else at right now? Our dealer is at what? We got 4, 6, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 5, 9. They're Ishan 10, but it's like not a great Ishan 10. We probably don't want that Ishan 10 if we can help it. Our player across has not made anything exciting happen in their hand. And they've thrown a lot of otherwise safe tiles, which is maybe a mistake. Like, I feel like
Well, they're holding the red dragon, so
yeah, so they have at least one. They at least know they're not in a good way, and they need to make one hard safe tile, so that's good. West is just going for it. West is going to make Chun. This is what I was mentioning.
yeah, and you've thrown the 8-man as well, so can't draw Dora in.
Can't get Dora. Can't. West is going to make just Chun because they feel like they lost their points and they need to get some points back. Yeah, again, it's player mentality. It's all in people's heads. Like, you don't have to behave this way, but it happens. You lose the points, you get stressed out. You're like, oh no, I'm going to fall behind. I better do something. See, Kyrell, again, I think it's really important to recognize score gaps because it's going to inform player behavior. People are going to behave differently based on where they are in the points.
People like being on top.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like in situations that are very volatile or with players that like to do this rushing, if you try playing EV for the first half of the game or the first 3/4 of the game, basically, you're going to end up losing to people who are making tiny nonsense hands that don't actually help them or don't do anything other than, like, pushing the game forward really fast. Now you have 2 hands, 3 hands to make up the entire difference of that volatile time. So it's tricky. It's tricky. So yeah, I don't know. I think for us, we gotta go for the flush, but it doesn't look like anyone else is having a better time. Let's see what the next 6 draws bring us.
Boom.
We got a call from player across. Ooh, okay, hold up. Let's hold up. So, player across has called a Pong, which implies to me they're just going for Tanya. They're just pushing Tanya. I don't know what else they could be pushing.
Yeah, I don't know why I do that personally, but hey ho.
Yeah, again, everyone's like getting a little antsy. There's a little bit of agita at this table. I don't know why. I don't know why you'd call that. That seems very silly, but they did it. Maybe because they think West is going to push Chun only, so they might as well push something either if their main competition is a one-han hand. Maybe.
Well, you've got your dealership next. Like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, there's no reason to do this.
You don't like. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put myself in that negative mental. If I lose this hand, I would be in a poor mental state.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated.
Into my dealership. Yeah, and I don't want my dealership when I'm in a frustrated state.
No. They got away a little lucky though. They threw their 5-so just before the 5-so and 9-so both came out. Just before the dealer reached. And the dealer reaches waiting on this 5-9 wait. And so it's reach.
I bet North's thinking Rian Peiko. Now let me tell you about Rian Peiko. You think E-Peiko's bad for not returning your text? Like, Rian Peiko's he's just a fuckboy.
Oh god, fucking Rian Peiko. Yeah, and this is a good time for us to throw our 7 pins. So we actually now have 3 safe tiles in our hand against a dealer reach, which is
Mm,
great. We have 4 technically if we count the Dora. So might not be. We probably don't want to throw the Dora. If we're gonna throw the Dora, we should probably throw it this go round. If we think Yakuhai guy is not waiting on it, but like, they threw that 8 man. I don't know. I'd be a little
yeah.
nervous about it. But let's see where everything goes. Okay, the safe tiles. Safe tiles start coming out. Safe tiles keep coming out. I think that's the next 6. So where are we at right now? I'm a little sad we threw that 1 man.
I agree with you, Troll. It shouldn't be 3-hand. It should be like a chombo.
It should, yeah, it should be worth so much. I feel like we should have held the 1 man and thrown the 7 pin just because I still want, like, if I'm going, I'm going. I want it to be good. I can throw the 1 later. I don't think anyone wants it. Like,
I mean, the real problem with this hand here is the 7-7-8-9 shape because you can see, is it 2 8s, 3 8s out on the table? You can see 2 8s out on the table and 1 9.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the other 8. Maybe you'll get a 6, but then you're still going to be stuck with this horrible, one side, that 2-side weight is going to be an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with you, Emperor Star Turtle, is that, like, I want to make this happen if I can because I am here, and I also have enough safety in the hand that it's not terrible to push forward with a little more with the 7 pin, which I know is safe on the dealer.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, what are you going to do with a 6-pin when it comes to that?
Cry and then deal it. If that is the one tile that gets me Tempai on the full flush, I'd probably deal it.
I mean, okay.
I mean, what? I see 3 4s. I see 3 7s. It's a 1 chance for the 2-sided weights on both sides.
Yeah, I guess
actually,
so.
the 3-pin has come out since the reach, so it'd have to be the 6-9 if it's like it's not the worst tile in the universe to throw.
It's there's no other 6 pins out. It's not beyond reason that someone has 2 of them in their hand.
7-pin was from the hand because it's the 7-pin is solid, so it's from the hand.
Yeah, it's from the hand. Yeah. I mean,
if it was the last tile to get me Tempai on the full flush, I'd do it. That's the only situation in which I'd be advocating it.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Next 6 plays 2, 3.
Wrong.
Oh.
Was that 3 members? Oh, was safe. Okay, fair enough. I won't complain.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. Like, you waited too long.
Yeah,
if you're gonna clear it.
Waited way too long. Held the more dangerous 5-so, which makes sense. But yeah, player across got ready, and so they win 1,300 points and a reach deposit from the dealer. Okay. Again, it's like, I'm not really sure why. A lot of people feel like it's very important to shut the dealer down. Don't let them keep going. You got to push the game forward. But, like, you didn't really change the game state that much with this, except you ticked the timer. So be careful when you do this.
I think it's important to shut the dealer down. So me and Dave are disagreeing with that one.
Well, you got 2,600 points. You got some placement. You got some advancement. It wasn't a total waste. What do we see in this hand? Oish. Another just heavy, gross hand. I don't like it.
I like this one better.
The 3 9s isn't bad. The 7-9-9-9 shape is pretty okay.
Yeah. Would I fold it?
Yeah, 7p. I feel like 7p should have been taken care of much earlier. I feel like you need to get rid of it much earlier.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because if you're not going to if you was going to use it, it was always going to be in that 6-7 shape, right? Why keep the extra 7? Because
at least
first of all, one's already out, so there's only 1 left to make it a triple. So yeah, I probably should have just thrown the 7-pin quite a lot earlier.
Yeah, at least one of them needed to go.
Because and that's the thing that maybe again it's back to playing your opponents. If a dealer has something in their weight pool, you can guarantee that I, as not dealer, will try and build a weight around that tile in the weight. Because I know that all the attention goes there. Oh my God, the dealer's reached. Everyone's looking there. And I'm like, okay, well, if I just build a weight around that tile, someone might be generous enough to give it to me. It's a pretty common tactic, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, the 7s. Yeah, the 7s. I still would have taken care of them much earlier. Much earlier. Anyway, our hand. Player to the right. 3, 3, 5, 8, 7. Ugh. The only good thing about that hand is it's 5 Shanten on Kokshi. Like this, that's exactly the kind of hand I would go for Kokshi on.
What?
There's nothing
Really?
else happening here. Like it's
What
garbage
the dealer
otherwise.
has?
No, not the dealer. The ex-dealer, North.
Oh.
Player to our right. Like there's nothing else happening there but Kokshi, and if I fail Kokshi, I can easily fold, which is pretty much what I'm doing at that point. That's my vibe with that hand.
I mean, I'd probably be flirting more with a Chitoi, to be honest.
Only one pair though.
Chitoi, Chanta, or Dora. And the
Maybe there's a door in there, so maybe.
But yeah, I mean, in the end, this is see how the first 3 discards go and then fold.
Yeah, our new dealer, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 is pretty good. 6, 8 pretty good. 1, 2 is okay. Again, see what happens.
No, yeah, dealer is a sucky position, but I mean, you're really hoping to get a dragon there, I think.
Yeah, to speed it out. Player left, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 3, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, they've got some good middle tiles there. Again, see what comes in, but like it's not bad. So let's see. Hey, everyone hanging out together. Welcome, friends. Let's do our first 6 discards. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm drinking here.
5, 6,
Boom.
6. All right. So what's happened? So we are now in a much better position, or at least we're much closer to Tenpai. And our problem is we will be Tenpai on probably nothing. Like, if we get Tenpai, and this is going to be Tenpai on, like, Reach. That's it. Maybe Reach Ipeco if we get really lucky.
No, yeah, Ipeco. And I would start to think maybe this is going to be a Sand Ankle, a 3 concealed trips.
1, 2's already out, though.
Doesn't mean I can't get it.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to bring value in. That's a way to get value in. Let's see. North has decided not to go for Kokshi against my sage advice. And they're now in a shape where they are still really very far from being anywhere near ready.
Sorry, I hope you can't hear my child having some sort of meltdown downstairs.
No, I can't.
As long as you can't, that's fine. Okay, I was about to say, I was trying to push the door closed more. I'm not sure what's going on.
Our dealer is flirting with Sanshoku, which is interesting. A 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku.
I'm having a real long thought about this Sanshoku. I really like it, a lot.
All right.
Yeah, I do, because you've got that 6 bamboo down there as well.
I like that how they've kept the door really open for it, but if it doesn't happen, they can still get this cool 3-sided weight.
Yeah, I really like it. Wow, that's the risk here with this 4-man with this 4-pin draw. Do you throw the 4-man or the 7-man and lock yourself into a Sanshoku? The 4-pin draw really causes problems. I would probably suggest you don't lock yourself in that hard because you are dealing, and throw the 8-pin instead.
Yeah, that's probably the best option. Yeah. But I want the Sanshoku.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chiral. I'm not sure what happened downstairs. I think he is being minded, by the way. No, I'm not just locked him down.
Running around on his own. We hope the gerbils take good care of him. He's one of their tribe.
He really likes it. Wow, he really likes the gerbils. And the gerbils might be a better parent than me. He's there with his dad, and I think he fell over it and hit himself, which is what you have happen a lot, or at least I have happened a lot now in my life.
I really like what South is doing as well. South has they've called their win, so they're Tenpai, waiting on the 5-8. Nice. But they also have this interesting opening to get to a straight through, or even a flush, if everything goes real well for them. Like, I really like that they have... Oh, no. I lost Gemma, but then she came back.
Oh, I think I'm back. Hello.
Yes, you are back.
Am I back?
Yeah. But I really like that they have this ability to upgrade this. and they've retained
with
it.
the Dora.
You know, they've done
So,
their call lunge to Tenpai. They could hold a Dora. They've retained, you know, their ability to manage that and their ability to upgrade.
Byron, it's really important that I defend gerbils. Gerbils don't eat their young. That's hamsters.
Mm.
Hamsters do that. Gerbils are a
Mm.
much better type of rodent.
She feels very strongly about this. All right, let's see what our next 6 discards bring. 3,
Pom.
It is good to know. It is good to know.
4.
Dum.
Like, if you want to upset me on the mahjong table, just say something bad about gerbils. I will.
Okay. So let's see where we are here. So what's happened here? Our player has kind of had nothing of merit happen to them.
No, but I like the way they kept the bamboo, the Dora. Sorry, the bamboo, the Dora.
Dora,
However, if they'd have kept the tile adjacent to the Dora, they would have been in a much better situation, and that's why we don't throw our Dora adjacent tiles, kids. Let's learn that.
Well, they would have been Tenpai now. On still kind of nothing, but it would have been at least Tenpai. It looks like our dealer type player has kind of, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they've moved over to what looks like it's going to have to be a Toy now that they've called the 3-man. Because they're not going to throw 2 Dora.
Yeah, I don't know if they freaked out because they got 2 Dora, and they're like, I've got to win it.
And the other thing is, look at those chuns. Like, if you thought you were going in this direction, you might have wanted to hold on to some hope with some of those dragons. Because that would let you speed out with your Dora.
I feel like the extra Dora draw probably created a bit of panic. The only thing I don't know what they're doing actually. No.
It's got to be Toy. I mean, they have 3 more pairs, so it could be Toy. But that's got to be.
That's pretty far at this stage in the game.
For sure. So that's a little rough. Our dealer abandoned the Sanshoku. I'm not sure why they did that, but they were like, forget it.
They don't like happiness?
I guess not.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
They're really close to some kind of, like, Pinfu Tanyao type shape.
I mean, maybe they're frustrated. They weren't getting any tiles from North to call.
Yeah, they had nothing going there.
Maybe they were just like, oh god, this is not coming through for me. I'm going to have to start pushing in another direction. And it just didn't come through, which is unfortunate if they're dealer.
Yeah. And here's where they throw that 8, so to hold. But again, I'm not sure why you'd hold the extra 6, but maybe they didn't want to throw the 6. But like, meh.
Dum.
And then they deal into another 1,000 point hand, and this is again a 1,000 point hand. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna harp on it this session. It's a hand that gained you nothing, and pushed the game forward a whole round. And I don't know. It's rough though. You know, if I'm sitting in South Seat where it's like I have this upgradable hand, but my win has come out. Do I take it? Do I not? Do I shut the round down and get my dealership? Do I not? So it's a valid choice. I'm going to go back on what I'm saying. It's a valid choice to say, well, you know what? It happened. My path
it was very fast, that South draw, that South pawn.
Yeah, you could have waited.
I know. I mean, I would have done it. I think it's all right. And you've got your flow back now, right?
Dum.
What you've got now is your dealership. Oh dear, this hand. I don't like this at all. This feels very inauspicious to me. It's very funny how the feelings that I have about these hands.
Rogue Legion asks whether hiding other people's hands is better for analysis. I mean, it really depends on what kind of thing you're doing, I guess. I mean, if you want to analyze people's discards but
like it's not necessarily about what would you do in this play. I feel like you can talk about a lot about what would you do while just like not taking into account the fact that other people have the tiles. I don't think it's that rough to have it open.
I mean, here you're getting a very holistic kind of view of how people are behaving, right? You know, and if you never go through a review with open hands, you'll probably find it more difficult to anticipate what other people are doing or why they're doing it, or you'll misinterpret, you know, what they were doing and why they were doing it. They might just be making bad choices, and you won't know that unless you got the open hands, right?
Yeah. So what I don't love here is that I have.
Sorry, I was going to say one thing. Sorry, I was going to. I forgot. Like, so basically, I think there's a tendency when you're looking at other people's discards to assume that they know what they're doing and they're playing good. So each discard was purposeful and effective. But
That's not always
when
the
you
case.
look at open hands, you start to really understand. Actually, there's a lot of nonsense throws that happen, including
Sometimes.
myself. I'm not. This is not to pick out like, oh yes, I'm a great player or anything. But without that extra information, I think there is a tendency for people to sort of without more context, assume that person knew what they were doing, because we do, don't we? We assume that our opponents have a great hand of their great hold of their hand. But and as coming back to the theme of this stream, these are flawed humans, and we have to understand how the flawed humans behave.
That's true. Hand-holding. Hand-holding is a key part of Mahjong. See, when I look at this hand, I'm like, okay, so I got 2 Hakus I'm not going to give up because I guess that could be good for me. I got 1 Hats that I probably should give up because it's a Dora indicator, so there's already such a low chance of me getting them. And I have 1 Chun that's also the Dora that I can never give up. So now I'm in like crapville because I have this anchor on the side of my hand. I have enough pin tiles to be vaguely tempted for a flush, but like,
You've got a nice shape in that bamboos, and
yeah, so I don't want to give it up. I don't like it.
oh yeah, Chiral. I mean, I'm not saying never play with closed hands for your reviews, but you should do a bit of both. Yeah, do you know what? I never understood Washizu. I always thought that it'd be better to play it more like bridge, so you could only see the person opposite you, and you played as
Polarized
a pair.
tiles.
Yeah, but if you could play as a pair, right?
That would actually be really interesting because you could
right?
You could make tiles that were polarized, so you can see through them only from like one angle.
Yeah. I mean, effectively, if you get a Washizu set, it's nightmarish to see what people have got on the side anyway, so to the side of you. But I mean, I was thinking you could actually get glasses so that only the people who had the right color glasses.
That's super interesting.
Anyway, so I was thinking like that. But then you play like a pair, like in bridge, right? And that would just be fun.
That would be super interesting, yeah, to play as a pair.
Yeah.
So yeah, first discard throwaway Dragon Dora. That's an option to say like I want to make sure no one has this and no one can put it together. I'll just throw it now. A little risky, but you could do it.
I'd throw the 1 pin, even though you just talked about flush.
1 pin. It's disconnected, and because of the 778 so shape, like maybe the flush is a step too far.
I mean, you could throw the 7 and say, right, my 7/8 so is going to be.
It's a calling hand, maybe.
My weight.
This might be a calling hand.
I wouldn't call this. There's not enough value. Unless I got the red dragon. If I got another red dragon, hey ho, we're calling all the way.
Yeah, yeah. If I get another red dragon, it's time to go. I got no time to wait anymore. It's happening.
I wouldn't call this. I'd throwing the 7 bamboo probably in retrospect now I thought about it, it's probably the right call because that's what that shape is going to be. It's a nice weight on a 6/9 because 9 is always more likely to come out. That's a good weight.
Got some drag.
This is not an obviously triply kind of hand. So 7 goes. We don't cut off our options for flush. We also keep that 3-man. That we might be able to connect that up with something a bit more tasty.
For everyone else, so player to our right's in a really good way. We got 5, 6, 8, 9, 4, 6, 7, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got some great sequences here that they could probably really easily build on. So they've got some raw material. Player across 1, 2, 4, 5, 5, 1, 9, 1, 2, 4, 6. The 2 Hatses are nice, but it's gonna drive you straight to like kind of no valuesville. Player left, our current dealer. 4, 5, 6 is nice. 1, 2, 3 is nice. I have 2 complete sets, but the rest is a little scattershot. What if you draw 4 pin and 7? I don't know. I think it's fine to just accept that you don't want 3 of a kind of 7. So like, what does 3 of a kind of 7s really get you other than a complete set? I don't know. It doesn't increase value, so I could see you just ditching it. Let's go through our first 6 discards.
Pom. Pom.
Yeah, positionally right. It's really, really close at this point. I'd much rather hang out for a big hand than risk it all for nothing.
Yeah. So let's see. It looks like our player disagrees, and they're just gonna call out.
They want to wait on the Dora, the thing the pros never do.
Yeah, I'd love to wait on the Dora actually. So you could try to find a way to make this hand wait on the Dora, which would be pretty cool.
I don't think it's going to come out for you though.
No, I don't think so. Our player across is called their dragon as well. So they're just pushing. They might be pushing a flush. It looks like they might be pushing a flush. But they're seeing what happens. Player to our right. What do we have? 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Ugh. They have a straight through potential. They're in like an awkward spot right now. If I were them, I probably would have thrown the 9 pin over that second 8 man. Because I feel like, or maybe even the 4 pin. Because I feel like that 6, 7, 8 structure, the 8s might have been their pair. Like I think they actually harmed their structure slightly by throwing that pair away.
I'm only interested in this if it's a Sanchoku.
You only want the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku?
Yeah, or 7, 8, 9. That's why I played the 4 pin.
Either way, I think keeping that pair would have been worth it. Because I think like they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And our dealer, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 3, 9. They're struggling forward. I don't think they've made any huge mistakes or anything, but they're just looking to get more value. All right, let's see our next 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. All right, so here we go. So what's happened? Our player across has aggressively cheated themselves into a flush situation, so now they'll have a 3-Han hand. So they push real hard, and now they only have 4 tiles left. And everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not coy, is it?
No. Our poor, sad...
it's a straight 2, yeah. It's 4
Well,
hands.
it's a straight, but because they threw that 8, they could have had the straight with the pair and been Tenpai and probably in reach right now.
No. We're talking about the North player.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, North is locked in Itsu. That's actually smart. I apologize. Yeah, North is Itsu. So that actually ends up being basically Mangan. Okay. They got...
I know you've got to be really confident you're going to draw it though.
It's a push, but they pushed to somewhere worth getting. I'll give them
that. You can't fold. I mean,
no.
And West is looking a bit dangerous with that 4 pin discard.
Yeah.
I mean, the dealer, I feel bad for them. They don't look like they're getting anywhere.
No.
But they are Tenpai.
The dealer?
Are they not? God,
no.
sorry.
4, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. They're Ishan 10. They're Ishan 10.
Yeah.
David Hill Terminator 4 Soul Green. Yes, 4 Soul Green.
He was quite close, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's not bad.
He'll be a real force there.
No, I'm sad about the 8 man from the player to right, because if the player to right had respected the value of that pair, the player to right would be in Tenpai now on Pinfu Itsu. And it'd be pretty sick. But Pinfu potential Itsu, to be fair, because they don't... It would be a 3, so it'd be a 147 weight. But let's see how this finishes up then.
Wrong.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, player West does the old swappy doppy, and because of that, they deal.
I don't think the swappy doppy was what caused them to deal in.
Doppy.
It was the swappy doppy that did it.
Yeah, the swappy doppy that definitely did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you should not be throwing bamboos into this. Like, there was no need for him to throw his lead away like that. Did he throw it? Yes, threw his lead away. This is when you don't throw your lead away.
No,
like, he could have thrown any of those man tiles.
Yeah. He could have thrown a 9 man. And then, and even if he threw the 9 man, still be Ishan 10.
Yeah.
On like Tanya, on Pinfu Tanya or something even nice like that.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, if they threw the 9 man, and they drew an 8 pin, they'd be back to Tanya Sanshoku.
Oh, they would too.
Yeah, like you didn't have to do this. You didn't.
I mean, it'd be a terrible way to wait for your pair. But yeah, I mean, again, this is everything that me and Dave always say. Why? Why?
Yeah, just why? You know it's a man flush.
It wasn't a great lead.
I'm sorry. They've called 3 times. It's at least 3 Han. Do you want to hand them your lead?
Yeah, and that's not only if you're handing them your lead, you're in the bottom, and they've got a nice lead now.
Yeah, like this was just not worth it. Not worth it at all. Yeah, exactly. You can see that it might be a straight through. You can see that it's definitely a flush. Like and the other thing is, again, this is something people don't think.
I don't think it's definitely a flush, Dave. I would not define that. But of the possibilities, it's pretty. The thing that makes me say it's not. if I can't see their hand, there's no
They threw the
inside.
West out of their hand after the 5-man.
Yeah, but there's no inside pin tiles.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not a sure thing.
so
However,
strong. I'd call it sure, and maybe you're right that it's
however,
technically not
because
sure.
because I can't see the red dragons.
That's the other thing. You don't know where those red dragons are
Yeah.
at all. You have
So
no idea where the
yeah.
door is.
So that would be my worry for the North player, is that maybe they've got the red dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's why I just want to caveat and say, okay, someone screen captures and goes, this is what a flush discard pool looks like. This is not a definite flush. This is a likely, but it's not a definite. I've seen definites. This is not the definite. So quickly get your pens and paper out, kids, and write down that. Yeah, the door has not been located here, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You don't know where you're right. You don't know where the door is at all. It's because I'm looking at all these hands. This actually is biasing me a little bit. So I know no one has the door, but you have no idea. Where's the door? No one knows. It hasn't been killed. You threw one of them. There's still 3 out there you haven't seen at all.
And
throwing that door.
If you threw the door, you'd expect it to flush it out from someone else, and it didn't. No one reacted.
So it's either in the wall or someone's got it already tucked away into their hand, ready to go. That's an important thing to remember. Yeah. So again, it's like, why? Why take this risk? You're not Tenpai. It's not like you're Tenpai on a Yakuman, but even on like a Hanemon. If I'm Hanemon Tenpai, maybe I say, okay, this might be worth pushing because if I get away with it, I can get a huge value back. But here's the EV, right? What's the EV of this play? The value you're getting is an Ishan 10 hand, and you might deal into something huge. Don't like it.
Oh, Dave knows his EV.
Don't like it.
Don't.
I learned it from Pokemon.
Jeez.
I don't know anything.
There's something wrong with our generation. The older millennials, there's something like just fundamentally wrong with us. I think they need a new term for old millennials.
So now it's our deal. Here we go. Here we go. What do we got? We got 5, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 1, 2. Player to our right has 5, 5. Player to our right has a tile-rich hand with lots of things that could go right.
Yeah, but I think that the player in South now, because of that bad beat, like they're going to be
a little frustrated. They got dropped down to 3rd place out of that, from 1st to 3rd.
Oh, they only got 3rd. Yes, I thought it might be their last, but they're not, of course.
No, they're not quite in last. And so again, they're probably going to be stressed out by that. And 4th is right behind them, 800 points behind them.
What's your favorite EV then, Dave?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Pokemon.
I haven't played Pokemon since it was like on the original Game Boy.
I know nothing about Pokemon. I got to be honest.
So I know Red and Blue.
Player across, not such a 2-3. They got a lot of gaps to fill in. Player left, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Oh, that's not bad. They got some straight through potential here. Player left. So meh. Let's see our first 6 discards.
And the doors are in the wall.
3.
I don't know. There's a legendary Java Pokemon. Tell me which one. I'll get Pokemon now. All right. Surely Pokemon's just on the blockchain though, right? That's how it works, right? That's what all the kids are doing. All I know is
talk about the blockchain.
You love the blockchain. The blockchain.
No one loves it.
The singular blockchain. What? As soon as I say that, there is venture capitalists desperate to throw money at me.
You're not wrong.
It's a woman who said the blockchain. She must know what she's talking about.
You're like that other lady who really went to jail. All right, what do we got here? Our dealer has a good thing and a bad thing. They're having a good time because they're Ishan 10 technically, not on any value, but Ishan 10, not bad. But the bad thing is that HOTS. That HOTS is there and it's taunting you.
And why didn't they throw the hats when the North player threw the hats?
Oh,
That's when you should have thrown the hats. That was the right time to throw the hats.
Did they have it? Hold on, did they even have it? No, they didn't have it. They didn't have it.
Oh, they didn't have it.
They got it like a discard after, and I probably would have thrown it straight out right there.
Yeah. Don't hold the grenade.
Yeah, it's only going to become more deadly as time goes on. You're not going to get more of them. Just kill it. Just kill it. The 2 Souths, like, this is all right, but again, this is Tenpai on nothing, really. It's Ishan 10 on nothing, I should say, which kind of sucks. Player to our right has made a nice Chi toy, or their Ishan 10 a nice Chi toy. So they've made some.
Wait, who's got a Chi toy? Oh, Ishan 10. Okay,
yeah, sorry. Ishan 10 on Chi toy. So they've made some lemonade out of those lemons. Not bad.
Yeah, no. Why? why? If you're going to do the Cheetoy, don't hold that 4 or the 5. It's no red
Yeah.
5s, right?
There's no reds. There's no reds. So yeah, you could
So
have.
yeah, hold the 8 for the 5. Like if people are going to think that Suji traps are a thing, just teach them and not a thing, and teach them the hard way.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true though. You throw that 5. You throw that 5. The 2 and the 8 become great tricky weights for your Cheetoy.
So
Absolutely.
back to all that thing about we shouldn't make sweeping statements like pros don't rate on Dora.
Pros
Whichever
don't
just
rate on
makes a
Show them a
sweeping
questionable
statement.
PowerPoint. Yeah, trick
Suji
them
traps
all.
don't exist. Yeah, show them a questionable PowerPoint. I like you, Bionel. I really like you.
So let's see. Player across is better. They've gotten some shapes together. Meh. Player left also gotten some shapes together. 2, 3, 4, 3. They're each on 10 now. But it's going to be rough. And they threw the 1-so. Why would you throw the 1-so and not the 7-so? Keep that Itsu dream alive. You'd love to make that Itsu, wouldn't you? Wouldn't it be great to get Pinfu Itsu? Why? Why give it up for 2 pairs? I cry.
Really? Huh. I don't see Itsu there at all. Not at this
You'd have
stage
1,
of
3,
the
4,
game.
5, 7, 8.
There's 2 2s already gone. You're not getting your Itsu,
You
mate.
can throw the 1 later.
No, Dave, I strongly disagree with you right now.
I don't know. What I would say is what you're not getting is the third 7. That's
Right,
the thing.
you do realize you're a Tenpai if you call this.
Yeah, I guess on Tanyo.
Yeah, no, further 1. You're not getting a straight here. You're just not. I'm sorry. I know. You're not. Yes, Pez, have you noticed this? I've noticed this. Dave's a different man since the COVID.
What?
You used to like
No.
Chanta, and now you're like Itsu everywhere. No,
like
Itsu
Itsu.
again. Itsu not quite as bad as Ipeco, but it's one of these ones that flirt with people who haven't quite played. People seem to think Itsu is there when it's not. It's just not.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's look at our next 6 and see where we go.
Okay. I like that one. If you're watching, Mr. Cisan, I thought your one bamboo frill was right.
Each.
And I'll write a
Chi.
questionable PowerPoint about it.
All right. So here we go. What's happened?
Right, so because of this Hatsu hold, when he didn't need to hold that green dragon,
Oh, I see why you like this
our
guy.
poor dealer has had to. Yeah, well, that was the other thing I wanted to say, but I didn't want to become a parody of myself.
Oh,
but anyway.
no.
Anyway, let me just focus on the East player at the moment. So, because they held that green dragon, they're now stuck. Like they have to pull their hand apart to do something with the green dragon.
Yeah.
And they put a speed bump in front of their own progress, which is really tragic, I think.
Yeah, that green dragon. Well. How many reaches are there on the table? There's 2 reaches on the table, right? Because I believe the player. Yeah, player to the right has reached, but their original reach tile got called.
Okay, yeah.
So there's 2 reach zones. So yeah, that HOTS is no longer safe at all. Because one of the players in reach has thrown the HOTS already, which is like, okay, you might have logic if only one person's in reach to still throw it, but now it's like, you can't.
I mean, you can throw the south; they're nice and safe. But
yeah,
let's talk about Sanshoku. Ah.
A might be on tilt in a big way.
Sanshoku, Tanya. Oh, Michi.
Wait, A? Who's A? Because I feel like our player to our right is reached on a one-man weight on a Cheetoy, which is perfectly fine.
And they think that Suji Trap is a thing, or they think that the players that they're playing against think Suji Trap's a thing.
That 4, yeah, that's true. They threw the 4 first.
But again, I will say, if you are looking at this and going like, ooh, I'm going to use Suji, the tiles right next to the reach are not good to read your Suji. If that 4-man is in the first line discards, we can talk about it. But if it's adjacent to the reach tile, Anyway,
Yeah.
That's why Suji traps aren't a thing. I mean, of course they are a thing, but as Dave said, it's just a tool that people apply badly.
No. They went into reach. They dealt the 7-man, and then that was called by player across. It's not very easy to see here. Wait, hold on. Did they?
Wait, Dave, just go back. Dave, go back. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? So this happens. They play the 4-man now. Then they draw this. and they decide, I'm not going for Suanko. I'm just going to
Each.
reach. Because I got a good weight for the Chi-Toy. They throw the 7. The
Chi.
7 gets called. And then this player draws in a
Reach.
6 and reaches with the 8. Is the order in which this happens. Yeah, it's not apparent, actually. It's one of those weird times when the board state does not show you clearly what happened at all. So the reach from player right was first, as they're like, okay, we're gonna get rid of our our Suanko dreams and just go for a reach Chi-Toy on a good weight because I've already thrown the 4 and this is like ideal for me. So that good weight actually came after the 4, so it wasn't entirely planned, but I'm sure they noticed like, oh, this is great.
Do you know what would have been sexier though?
What?
If they'd have discarded the 7, held the 4 for that moment, got themselves into Tenpai on the
use the 4 as
Chi-Toy,
a reach tile,
and then use the 4. No, then drawn the 1.
Mm-hmm.
No, because this is Tenho actually. Might work on Tenho. It might work in real life. Probably wouldn't work on Ron. But then, yeah, discard the 1 and reach on that because people would rely on the Nakasuji.
Oh, because they have both the 1 and 7 are safe, so surely the 4 can come out.
Yeah, and also because it happened before the reach. I don't know. This is back to how can I trick people around me? I don't know. Maybe this is the better trick.
Well, what's a little interesting now is you have a reach where 4 is safe. And you have a reach waiting on only a 4.
I mean, the alternate is to just throw the tiles and not reach.
Yeah. Chi-Toy on its own isn't a bad hand. Suji, your fake. Look, reality is
it's
confusing.
A take. That's what's going to be on my. When I finally get around to writing this book about hot takes on Mahjong hot takes, that would be my thing.
So now we have 2 reaches on the table.
Sushi traps are bollocks. They'll be like super British slang as well.
Oh no, I don't like this. It looks like our player across is warming up to Sanchoku as well.
Yeah, I think they probably shouldn't, and they should just fold.
No, they need to get out of here.
Yeah.
We unfortunately need to at least not do anything too risky for a while before we see whether we do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a real loss of this guy's D-San's dealership. That holding that hats was a real error here. I think a real error. It
just left them unable to move. They can't move.
Exactly, Chira. Thank you.
All right, let's see our next.
Suji are bollocks, Nakasuji are the dog's bollocks.
Oh no. Yep. So our D-San here falls for the trap and decides they can surely throw a 1-man and keep their hand somewhat alive. And they do.
You should just throw the South. Yeah. I mean, the South can only be a pair for you anyway.
In a bad spot.
Like, it's not great. The South should have gone. It should have just been folding. Just fold.
Yeah. And our player to our right gets a lucky flip. So it becomes Mangan, Reach, Chi-Toy, Dora 2. And that regains them the lead at the expense of us. So now we're in a bad way. Yeah, Nan's 100% safe. It's like, why not just do the Nan? I love Naan. Naan is fucking delicious. I'm hungry.
I'd like a bit. No, now I'm hungry for naan bread.
All right. So we're here in South 1. We don't have we have about half an hour left in our time. So do we want to skip right to South 4 and just do that one, and then I can do talky stuff?
Oh yes, because you got your announcement.
Yeah. So let's go to South 4. I don't want to run out of time on people.
It's an exciting announcement. He does need to give himself.
It looks like the points have once again shifted, and we are in a bad way. But it's our dealership. It's our time to shine. That cheats. It does cheat. It's way to a manga.
Sorry, Pez. That's funny.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Dave.
All right. Continue. So what do we got here? I mean, this is not bad. We got a South. We got a pair of dragons. We could maybe speed our way out of this. I would be saying with this hand, I got to move. I need to make sure I win this hand. I don't know how well I can build it into value right now, but I need to continue my dealership and see if I can start scraping together some victory back out of this.
I mean, my prediction here is it's just going to end up miserably because you've got almost zero leverage on the table now.
No.
South,
everyone else can do whatever they want.
Yeah, South is going to be sniping at North, and North is going to be sniping at West, and you're not really involved.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Nothing wrong will happen to Southport dealership. I mean, yeah, it's like if I get a dealer Mangan, I can get myself into third.
I mean, you've just got to focus on continuing.
These tiles don't say Mangan right now. Yeah, I need to make sure that I don't lose my ability to keep playing.
You want the very, very hot take on what to do with this.
Uh-huh.
You call, even if it's not that red dragon, you call without a Yaku. You call assuming that you will draw or get the red dragon.
That's how to go fastest. I'm not anti that.
So yeah, I mean, this is people. Do people still talk about Atazuke, about how that's a thing?
Not really. I haven't heard much.
Right,
At least I haven't heard much conversation about Atazuke.
No. So Atazuke, it's funny. It should be Atazuke Nashi. So Atazuke is the idea that in modern mahjong you can generally call even if you don't have a Yaku. That didn't used to be the case. You used to have a Yaku before you're allowed to call. So,
Which
for example,
seems like that's only going to lead to arguments.
Yeah. Do you know, I've got a bad PowerPoint about it actually.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll pull that out next time. Anyway, so yeah, I would be calling for anything. I'd call for that 7-man. I'd call to complete that 5-6-6. Yeah, but I wouldn't have my Yaku. It's a risky move, but I think here you don't have time to be pissing about.
You can't. You gotta.
That's not hot take.
You gotta get
sure,
better
thank
material.
you. So I think in some areas it is a hot take. I think that people get quite uncomfortable sometimes by not having had their Yaku locked in.
It's risky, but like,
Chira, have you still got that bad PowerPoint? Is that a
God.
thing? I'm not even sure I shared it. It was a bad PowerPoint because I think I made it. Didn't I make it because people were bad at the terminology? Because they say Atazuke when the rule is actually no Atazuke, and we now play with Atazuke. But yeah, so what we play now. So yeah, Sakizuke is to you have to have your Yaku before you can do anything. You attach it first, and that's what it used to be. But anyway, I think people were annoying me with their abuse of terminology, and I think on the Mahjong wiki, the explanation is entirely incorrect.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so maybe this is Are you linked? It was mentioned the JK. Yeah, you know what? I've been working so hard over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, so the Mahjong Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, the Mahjong Wiki's explanation is just wrong. Don't look at it; it's bad.
So let's see what we get in our first six.
Boom.
Yep. 2.
Yeah. So yeah. It's complicated. It's because the terms are abused and people say it without saying Nashi or Adi.
All right. So here we are.
My presentation on this stream. It wasn't a year ago. It was many years ago now. Surely.
Oh God.
I wasn't streaming a year ago.
Yeah,
this time last year, I had a newborn, and they were just screaming at me constantly.
That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got here? We got, we called our Chun. We are desperately trying to make something happen here. I don't think we've missed anything out of efficiency-wise. So we're just going.
Yeah, I like
Player
it.
to our right is Tenpai.
But now that's taken care of.
Player to our right is sneakily Dama Tenpai on the 3-6 man.
Oh, so we should note as well that these know Fedora.
Oh, you're right. So now we actually have an explosive value potential here in the hand, too. I totally didn't even think of that. Wow, yeah, holy crap. All right.
And you are one away.
Ishan 10. But player to right, 3-6 man for just Tanyao. Which is so rude and makes me so sad. But they're being very gentle about it, but reaching this probably isn't worth it. Because it doesn't actually change their placement. Even if they reach, unless they flip something lucky.
Yeah, they've got. The thing is, when people lose triples, people like to because if the 6 pin or the 1 so comes out, it's big money time, isn't it? Right.
The 1 so? They just threw a 1 so.
Oh no! If it was the Uradora.
Oh yeah. You can get a big swing. Ugh. So this is a rough time because now we have this hidden bomb here. Although it's a 3-6 weight, I see 3 of them are not happening, but we wouldn't know that. So let's see where we go from. Well, let's see what everyone else has done first. Draw that extra draw. Player across. They're still far away from ready. They have 4 pairs and maybe an Ipeko, but not really much. But they don't really have to do much because they're winning by a fairly large amount.
Yeah, they just have to hold on to that north
Yeah.
and not throw that north. That's their role now, is to not throw the points onto the table.
Yeah, because really, even if second place attacks and overtakes them, they'll just be in second place. The chance of them dropping down to third are so minuscule that like they have some amount of comfort. And yeah, they can't throw that north because why give the points to someone else? Especially not your nearest competitor who is north. So they're stuck, but they don't mind. Our north player, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 5, they're trying to make something happen. But they're still a little far away as well, so let's see what goes on.
Yeah, true. I don't know where this came from. Did this come from Armel?
Yeah, this is an older one.
Oh, okay.
I'm only doing old Armel games. I drop change on the floor.
Each.
Did they wait one? Yes. So this player to our right did the wait one before calling reach thing that people talk about.
I love doing that.
Each.
Don't.
I love it.
Don't.
I think it's the best.
So now they've reached.
I don't think there's a move better than that. I mean, usually I like waiting for something a bit more dramatic than an east when it's south round. So I might wait a second time. See if I can get something a bit more drama.
Interesting. All right, so our dealer has gotten themselves Tempai.
Nice!
They're waiting on the 1-4 so. 3 of the ones
Nice.
are dead already, but that's actually kind of good because they're very safe looking.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to hang out and see what happens.
And
And this is it. And here's the thing. This is it.
Yeah.
This is where they've got to be. The only thing that could possibly be an upgrade to this is turning into the Pong Wait on the door or something. But, like, realistically, this is it. They will now, they're effectively in reach.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else they can do.
Yeah.
The player to the right's already in reach. Our player across is Ishan 10. They've noodled, but they still have that north, and they're probably not going to give it up. They've just been trying to play safe. And that makes sense. Player to our left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5. They're also like weirdly Ishan 10. I don't know why. Again, that one, maybe I'm being Captain Itsu guy, but throwing that one pin really killed the Itsu potential. But I think they just want to keep Tanya out. I don't know.
I mean, look how many 9 pins are out on the table, man.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You're obsessed.
They threw it because the 9 pins died. That makes sense.
When did that become the new hotness? When did Eats become the new hotness?
All right, let's see how this ends. Ooh. Our player across holds the 1-so and throws the 8-man.
It's safe.
The 8-man, yeah, the 8-man's much harder safe. Ugh. I'm just
that
sad
player
for,
knows how to play
us.
the winning. Yeah, but they're winning. Like, they're doing the winning.
And then we are forced to throw the 3.
Yeah.
Don't.
Into that, which does flip a door because insult to injury. And that's it. Yeah. Pros always go for Itsu. It's true. Pros always go for Itsu. If player across had thrown that 1-so.
Don't.
What Dan level is B-San?
5th Dan, it looks like.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Rogue Legion 5 Dan. Well, that's how you get your Dans, is holding those north doors.
It was right. It was the right play. They threw the tile that was safe against the 2 most dangerous people at the table. Absolutely right. I'm just sad. I'm sad because I wanted to win. I'm sad because I wanted us to get the points back. Yeah, and then again, what's D going to do? We're not going to break our hand over this. We're just going to plow straight ahead. We got to. So it's not, and these are the things where you can look at this and you can say, this isn't, they dealt in, but it's not like they played terribly. It's not like this was a mistake. It happened. And I think a lot of people get really self-conscious about things. They want to prove they dealt in for a reason. They want to prove, it's like, look, it happened. You deal in. It's fine. You got to know for you that you did it for a decent reason, not because you were throwing crazy, wacky, random tiles.
Don't.
Yes.
But that's it. And thusly did it end with poor Disan in last place. And everyone else above 30k, so they all get... This is the insult to injury stuff. I hate
this
that
is the
stuff.
real insult. Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that so much. Everyone else above 30k, so even third place gained something out of this, and you were just slam dunked.
So actually, 8th play was really good. That was a good reach then.
That's true. Reaching that guaranteed them that they would get... Did it guarantee? No, because they got a flip.
Oh,
but their push was probably to make it to 30k.
They wouldn't have had the option of the flip if they hadn't reached. So that was a good move. It was a good move. Sorry. I didn't quite realize we were on a normal game here, but yes. Good move, Asan. Sorry, D-San.
It's okay. It happens.
It was that holding that hat. That was the trigger for the slope.
D-San still got to win. Poor D-San's a sad one. Although negative 35 isn't the worst I've seen in the universe. That's actually a good question. Yeah, maybe this might have been such an early game that the UMA was set differently.
What kind of crazy ass room was this?
It's like +1, +1, +5.
Oh, +1, +5, and then it must be 9.
159. So that's a total of +15 spread amongst all 3 players. This might have been a very, very old game when they were still playing around about what the UMA options are. No, D is not me. I don't lose.
Dave loses.
Yes, I do. Definitely happens. Yeah, this must have been some kind of beta UMA, because you're right.
So yeah, they're on a tournament lobby, so you can put the UMA into your tournament lobby so that it applies it automatically.
Yeah, they control the UMA.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So Dave, tease. What's
back
the
to the
announcement? Right. Have you got like some images for us?
I do not yet. We're still working on some of that stuff. I know. There's going to be another third week of even better announcement. No, this is the announcement. This is the facts.
Oh my god, it's
The
like a
facts are coming
Netflix
out.
show I really
The
want
facts
to
are coming
watch.
out.
They
We
like
can do
tell me
pictures and stuff next week.
I
But
want
the facts are
pictures.
coming out now.
Okay.
Which is all right. So USPM meetup, Midtown Manhattan.
Right, so you're speaking too fast. Say it slowly.
No, I want to say it real fast.
Yeah, we're not New
I bought this
Yorkers.
Sonic the Hedgehog motherboard for my computer. You know, they make this. Asus makes a Sonic the Hedgehog themed motherboard. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
It's
actually.
really funny. But okay, so after a long period of wandering in the wilderness and trying to figure out what we're going to do,
Doing in the wilderness.
it's of my people.
It is very yes.
So there's a few key decisions. And first of all, actual updates will be going out throughout like later today when I update all the websites and stuff, and there'll be a mail blast to everyone on the mailing list. So don't worry, this isn't your only opportunity to hear about this or get the facts. You don't have to feverishly scribble it down on a piece of paper. So after a long time being at the Uncommons, we are no longer at the Uncommons. We are instead moving to a new venue. That venue is near Herald Square. It's going to be at 36 West 36th Street on the 5th floor. You'll have to buzz up, but we'll for sure let you in. It's going to have a lot of space, about 2,000 square feet, I'd say, full of mahjong tables and stuff for mahjong. We'll probably fill it up slowly as people start to, accreate. But we're really excited to be able to provide a much more dedicated space. And the benefits of this space are a few. Number one is going to be that we will have a lot more tables and space, mahjong and mahjong accessories. Number two is that we will have a much larger time frame for our meetups. We'll be able to actually hang out as opposed to the Uncommons where we had to get out of there. And number three is, I don't remember what number three is. More time and more space, I think, were the big two.
You're burying the lead a little bit here, though, Dave. Do you not feel? The lead here is Dave's got an exclusive mahjong space. An exclusive mahjong
I need
space.
to wait until we have all the stuff and the website stuff.
I know, but
we need all that stuff to be together. It's still coming together. But yes,
but you've
this
said that with a lot of words. Let me boil it down.
Okay.
Dave bought us all a house.
Hold on. I already have a mortgage and it's not for you.
Damn it. Anyway.
But yes.
In all seriousness,
Dave has a dedicated mahjong space for USPML to be using.
You say in Manhattan. I want to say on Manhattan, but in Manhattan, like a block away from the Empire State Building.
About maybe 2 blocks.
Maybe 2 blocks. A stone's throw away if you're really good at throwing stones.
Don't throw stones. The police get real mad about that.
The police get real mad about anything in that country, is what I've learned this last week.
New York City cops generally would rather sit around and do nothing, given the option.
And also they don't like waiting at red lights, so they just put their lights on so they can go through the red. Anyway, let's not talk about your police because that's a real problematic topic. Anyway,
a bad time.
On Manhattan Island, on actual Manhattan Island, block or two away
it's not some other island named like Manhattan *Tan that's actually in Connecticut somewhere.
Surely Manhattan must come from Europe somewhere. Surely.
Manhattan? No, Manhattan. I believe Manhattan is the native name for
the okay. Anyway, I always assume that everything in America has something. It has its little friend. Its twin friend in Europe.
Here, we kept a lot of the names that the indigenous people called things. I don't know. I don't want to use an insensitive word.
Like York.
No. New York and New Amsterdam were for sure Europe names, but things like Manhattan, places like Massapequa, Hop Hog, like places like that on Long
Okay.
Island. Those are all the original names of those
Anyway,
places.
let's go back.
Anyway.
Let's go back to the main headlines here. Dave got a place in Manhattan,
Yes.
stone's throw away from the Empire State Building.
Yes.
There's loads of great venues around to eat, and
Yes.
it's exclusively
Keen's
for Mahjong.
Steakhouse is right next door. You can get this
yeah.
insane mutton chop.
So if you go to play with Dave, you won't have to be like shuffling past some idiots who are playing Settlers of Catan or whatever that
Hold on.
European game is.
There's going to be a lot of idiots.
No, okay, but they won't be playing Catan. They'll be playing Mahjong.
Yes.
They'll be your idiots.
Yes, my personal idiots.
I imagine it's going to become like
local idiots.
I imagine it's going to be like Cheers. That's what I've got in my mind.
You got to go where everybody
Dave's
knows
place,
your name.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's going to be like Cheers. You're going to turn up.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Catan is
Okay,
not.
I'm not gonna engage with Catan at this juncture, but yes. So what this really is, this February. So what I'm really doing for folks interested, particularly in the February meetup, I'm not currently moving the time of the meetup. I'm just gonna move the place. I'm gonna move it one thing at a time. So it's gonna be meetup normal time, new place, and then we're gonna move on to look at different times because I don't want to change too many things at once. And I think yeah, we'll have much more time. We'll have much more space. It's kind of a soft launch because we're still finalizing things like the decorations and the branding and stuff like that. We are going to, I believe we're going to stick with 10 just because I want to keep everything as it is. And then for folks who show up, we can take a little vote as to what works because the folks who show up are the folks dearest to my heart because they showed up. And see if we want to move it around or what we want to do. But we can stay as long as we want. We can play as long as we want. It'll be great.
So we have a new pilgrimage point for Ricci Mahjong, right?
That's true.
It's going to be great. And Dave has got like he's being very coy at the moment, but I can tell you in the background he's just full of ideas.
I have a lot
to
of
make
ideas.
it so
I
that,
like
yeah,
to reveal
so
my ideas like when they're done, which maybe is a flaw. But like, so that's why I'm saying like the branding, all that stuff's coming together. The decorating's coming together. Like we definitely have a nice, pleasant space to play Mahjong, but it's going to be nicer as we continue finishing out decorating and build out and stuff like that. We are, I mean, as a general event space, we are very open to hosting certain other types of events if folks wish to rent out the space for certain things. Especially during the golden hours of 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. So if you know anyone who would be interested in renting space 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, I'd be super interested in talking to them.
Dave is entering corporate events now as well.
Heck, yes, that's fine. Like let's make use of the space and get used to it. And also we can take those events and be like, hey, you should also play Mahjong. That's my requirement is you let us pitch you on Mahjong.
Sorry, this is off topic, but I do like the fact that Chiral says if something goes wrong in my life and I find myself in America, it's not that something goes right in my life and I find myself in America.
It's a land of dreams. Everyone loves being in America. There's that whole song, I Want to Be in America, from that play about how that play wasn't West Side Story is not
West
the most
Side Story
play at this juncture.
I
But
wanna be in America.
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, there we go. It takes place here in New York. It all comes together. John Sebastian Joust speaks.
But anyway, I'm sure if you bring your Catan, Dave will let you sit on a table and play your Catan
In
as
the
well.
corner under a blanket. No one should see this.
You've got to
happening.
wear a dunce hat.
Yeah, it's I'm playing
Okay,
Catan.
but Dave, just off topic, entirely off topic.
Yes.
If you were forced to play Catan or Ticket to Ride, which one?
I play Catan over Ticket to Ride. The address 36 West 36th Street. It's going to go out in the email blast. It's going to go out on the Discord as well. I'm going to send all those things out this afternoon, so it's going to be up on our website. So all those things will be visible very shortly. So you should see.
That's so exciting to me, Dave. Congratulations.
Thank you. Again, I can't wait to have all the actual materials so I can really go.
Congratulations for wasting your money.
You can light it on fire or you can put it into a space. What do you do, right? You do one or the other. I mean, I could have sat here and been like, I just bought 10 Rex 3 auto tables and I put them all in my living room and now I have them all. Like, all right.
Exactly. No, Dave, you're the nerd that gives back to the other nerds. Thank you.
Well,
thank you from the nerd community.
I know it's true. It is investing in Mahjong because the other thing that this space is going to let me do, I'm going to opine a bit about something I maybe haven't opined at you about yet. New thing. The other thing this space makes it really easy to do that I think is really, really, really great and important is run Mahjong classes.
And yes, this could be the start of a Mahjong boom. Exactly, Emperor Star Turtle.
Yes. This is where you can start pulling people in and
right?
doing things. This is where you have the space to use whenever you want. It's all set up. You just walk in and you teach.
And you can bring your friend, and you're not you're not shuffling into a board game cafe where you're stuck in a basement for the uncommons, right? Or was it a basement?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, the uncommons again. The folks there were very nice to us. It was a nice space. I'm not crapping on them.
No.
But they didn't have a physical setup that was good.
And they're a business, and they've got to have covers, right? Whereas, and that's what's made Mahjong difficult from from us as players. Pubs don't want us sat
Yeah.
there nursing 1 pint of beer for 2 to 3 hours. They just don't want us there.
Right.
It makes us uncomfortable. It makes them uncomfortable. Everyone's uncomfortable. And we don't have that kind of comfortable space like they do in Japan, where you just rock up and you play some mahjong.
Yeah.
Dave is creating a space.
I'm working on that. It's not going to quite operate like that to begin with, because
No, of course it's not.
events, but like
Exactly.
it's still a space where, yeah, if we want to hold an event, that event can happen. You unlock the door. There you go. We're ready to do it. We're ready to do this.
Yeah,
We're ready to have
you're
an
not.
event.
You're not like driving around to the bridge club to pick up their tables to bring them to the place, and then people are bringing their sets. Like, oh my God, Bob hasn't turned up. He's got the 5 sets. None of that will be happening. And I think.
If actually, Rogue Legion, if you want to email it, if you email that to me at Dave@US. Let me put my email address in the chat. Yeah, I even spelled it right. Yeah, if you want to shoot that info over to me, I'd be super happy to reach out to them, because I think that, yeah, things like that are great. As we get the branding together, the website together over the next week or two, it'll be a little more visible. We'll have a name and everything. It'll be awesome.
And Gemma really hopes to leverage Dave's mahjong space.
It's true. It's true. And yeah,
for her own
I think
agenda.
classes and education and being able to start this cycle of bringing people in and getting them involved and having a place where they can easily participate. I'm so lucky with this location. We're like 2 blocks from Penn Station. So if people want to do things after work, and then after work, you go hang out a bit, you play some mahjong, you have a good time with your friends, and you can head right home for people who commute in and out of town. Like, it just opens the door to so many options.
Yeah,
that I'm really excited about what we're going to be able to do here.
Just from a kind of, let's talk about it from a marketing perspective. If you can say, oh, you want to learn to play mahjong, well, come to this address. This is mahjong named space, rather than come to this board game cafe or come to this restaurant and ask for so and so. You can ring the doorbell, and you know that the people in there are playing mahjong.
Dr. Mullins vouching for my hype. Yeah, 15-minute walk from your corporate. There you go. Iron Tom, just transfer up, and I honestly like it. Knowing you already as a human being, it'd be super awesome to have you as a neighbor here in town and hang out all the time. So if you want to, please do.
Get all your corporate friends to come.
Yeah, bring your corporate friends. I'll be bringing my corporate friends.
I imagine that every American office anyway operates exactly like the office. So. I'm a concern that it's probably not too off, but
I am considering moving the streaming setup over there, so we stream out of there. Like, that might be a nice thing to do. The first game, same time as the meet. We'll probably get started at about that time. Again, because it's a new address, I'll probably give everyone a little bit of time to get in, stuff like that. Yeah, like a work meeting, but also, yeah, I mean, all these things, yeah, mahjong work meeting.
Exactly, but this is, I mean, if you talk about when mahjong was really, really popular in Japan, it was
like golf, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was really linked to your office. People would go, and that's where you'd make your real decisions, right? You go and play mahjong with the boss. The real decisions would be passed down.
First game, same
So
first game, same date as the meet. I'm not sure what you mean. So if you could just explain a little bit.
But
the next meetup we're having will be at the new space. And again, I'm going to update this afternoon. I'm going to take care of updating all the web presence stuff and all those other things.
I mean, I think psychologically, back to poor Dave's allusions to wandering through the desert, actually having a physical space to call our own is going to be a big psychological change for us.
Yeah.
It can be a home.
Again, I've been doing this since 2010, and I think it's actually really funny. A long time ago, we were at this place called Simple Studios, and I remember it cost me $300 or $400 to run a meetup there every time, because I had to rent out a studio for like 3 or 4
Dave,
hours.
That's why, Dave, don't do that. Like, it's your money.
It's over and done with. But like, it cost me that money, and I had to impose on my poor friends, be like, oh, can you load my tables into your car? Can we drive them into town? Can we find a place to park? Can we load in and load out every time? It was a big ordeal, and like, I was psyched. I remember being shocked at that first meetup that we had like 16 people. We had 4 full tables at the first meetup, just so people who heard it was happening. And this is 2010. This is ancient times, way before. Yeah, and then Yoko remembers we moved to this tile shop venue, but it's always been such a hassle finding a space to be at that didn't cost a ton of money and that didn't require us to schlep equipment back and forth every single time. And I always had that dream, like, if I had a place where all I needed to do to run a class was just walk up and unlock the door and walk in, I could do this all the time. I could do that after work every day if I had to. Like, it's fine, it's easy. But having to impose on others schlep stuff, I always felt bad. And so many people helped me out, and I appreciate those people so much. But like, I like now not having to impose and having the ability to do this more and having this ability to do this more. and then having the ability to give other people out, if we have trusted
So-
teachers, which I'm sure we will have fairly quickly, they can have a key to the space. They can get in there themselves. They don't need me to run around and help them because they can be independent and get these things done. There's so much potential. I've been so excited about this and like keeping it under a hat for weeks and weeks and weeks.
We're going to be living in Dave's dream. That's what I'm taking away from this.
You know what's really funny though? When I was looking at spaces, one of the first spaces I found was a Midtown Manhattan rehearsal space, and it was Simple Studios. They'd gone out of business during the pandemic, and it was like the corpse of Simple Studios. And I was like, oh God, oh no.
The only thing that makes me a little bit sad is this wasn't like the start of Ghostbusters, when the realtor takes them around. I hoped you were going to be in like an old fire station.
An old fire. You don't want to be that guy, but you're gonna be that guy. Don't give people any opportunity to rob. No, I don't think anyone's gonna have any opportunity to rob the place. I don't know who's gonna want a ton of mahjong equipment, but yeah, it is a reason. It is a secure place. It's fine. I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, it's like in a building, right? And you're one floor, and
we got a whole floor. It's great.
Yeah, but so there's security as part of the building. It's not,
Yeah. We were at Simple Studios before and after the tile shop. We were out on Staten Island for a while as well. We had someone who ran a board game store out on Staten Island.
See, I was told to never go to Staten Island.
You shouldn't. Staten Island is the worst.
I went on a ferry to Staten Island and walked just around to get on the ferry back, so I could.
Yes, that is the Staten Island journey you deserve. You go to Staten Island. The ferry ride is really nice. You get to Staten Island. You're like, well, You maybe go to Nona's of the World. Oh no, Carol, don't worry. I'm far too paranoid to actually do that. But there are obviously going to be some trusted staff members besides just me that can have a key and that can run events. And I think that's great. Again, it's one of those things where it's great because first of all, like people often want to help, and now I can let them help. And also, not being the sole point of everything is good. It means more people can participate.
I mean, my dream. So it's been about 100 years since there was a real big boom in mahjong. Right, the 20s was a big thing. Boom. Yeah. It's been 100 years. I think we're due our boom again, right?
Well, that's the other thing. This doesn't just have to. This isn't just Reach Mahjong. A mahjong space is a space for people to play other forms of mahjong, American mahjong, Chinese mahjong. Everyone who loves mahjong can have a dedicated space to work in, as long as they make sure to make time for Reach, because Reach is still near and dear to my heart. So we got a lot. And the one thing that I'm gonna throw at Gemma, to be fair, now that we have something to do it in, someplace to do it in, 4 words.
4.
Crash Course New York.
Oh, I see. I was just going for the 2. Where was the third word coming from?
I realized I'm like Crash Course Place. I'm like, wait, New York is 2 words. It's 4 words. I don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny. Like, do we have time to still talk?
We have a couple minutes. I got a couple minutes. We can go.
Okay, so I have been, because if people who know, before the pandemic, I was running the crash course in Japan. I was taking people over to Japan, and I was training them there with professionals, and we do a lot of cute, cool things.
So fun.
However, if you have looked at the price of tickets to Japan nowadays, not so good. And the problem with crash course in Japan, there was always a big financial barrier and a big financial hurdle, and that always concerned and worried me. Yeah. Because I don't want it to be that Reaching Mahjong is only accessible by the rich. At the moment, we push up.
I thought, I mean, my opinion on the crash, I had a great time. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was really a huge, unique experience. But you're right. There was the cost of going. There was the cost of staying there. And then, I mean, something that I noticed on every crash course is you're conflating an exciting trip to Japan with a mahjong teaching experience. And sometimes that's really awesome. But I felt like some people, they had a tough time. They had a tough time just trying to learn something, but being in a very unfamiliar place. Or
exactly. I mean, my vision was always that this would be like, most people only go to Japan once in a lifetime, right? And this was to augment what I thought to them would be a once in a lifetime experience, to be in Japan for a week or 2.
Yeah.
However, post-COVID, obviously there's the war in Ukraine, and that has made the price of tickets, because now the planes have to fly a different route.
Oh, is that why?
It's partly why. It's not entirely why, but it is partly why. They have to fly slightly different routes. So, I mean, I'm looking for myself at the moment, and it's to the point now where I'm like, I've got a family out there. I just don't know how I could afford to visit easily. Anyway, and so I kind of looking for ways in which we can make it more accessible. There's multiple ways, and I hope we can offer different levels so that more people can access information and strategy. But I really do like the experience of everyone being in the same room. I don't think you can get away from that.
Yeah.
And that's why Dave's space is particularly interesting to me, because it means we could do something for America. I know New York's not a cheap place to go to.
Well, because we're at a transit hub, because we're up by a transit hub, it really does broaden the options. At least there, again, people say New York is super expensive. It is more expensive than many places, but you can find a cheap hotel in a decent area. You can, if you don't have a ton of pennies, you can make them go far.
And there's always the struggle, right? There's always a balance. Well, New York may be expensive to stay in. However, generally flights there are cheap because there's so many. Because it's a big transport hub. Whereas if I take it out into the middle of nowhere, flights suddenly become more expensive. I can only kind of draw. I'm just trying to think America. I mean, Las Vegas, obviously, there's flights, but I went to Texas, for example, and flights there are significantly more expensive than if I was to fly from New York.
Getting here will not be too challenging for anyone. Staying here, again, with a little bit of planning, like probably what I'd want to do if we have a serious offering is come up with like a, right next. There are actually multiple hotels on that block. So like there's like a right next door hotel.
And it's a very
competitive
competitive environment, right? Like I've stayed in New York for really cheap prices before. The room may be tiny, but it's okay because I'm not going to stay in the room. I'm in New York.
Tinier than Japan. The day-to-day things, like we probably try to do a lot of the similar things we do at Crash Courses, come up with a bit more optional maybe because people aren't going to be so lost in New York. But like things to do, activities, food stuff. I would love to take everyone eating. I'll take everyone eating. Yeah. We're at a Keen Steakhouse, so we can fulfill my dream of doing high stakes mahjong. I still have to do high stakes mahjong.
I do like steak in New York.
Oh my god!
But I think this could fulfill some of my goals to make mahjong high level strategy education more accessible to those who can't afford it or who don't want to travel, can't travel for whatever reason.
We can do Benkyokai now.
Benkyokai,
we could get together and do Benkyokai and do hand review and study to get like this. So the options are so limitless. I love it, and it makes me. Really
but it's a psychological difference, right? There was nothing stopping you or sitting in your living room and doing that, but there is a psychological barrier to doing that. There really is.
Yeah.
That's why your boss. I mean,
yes, Troll. That's exactly the idea. I'm thinking of it now as like an elimination tournament, and every time you get eliminated, you instead get seated to eat. But the further you made it in the tournament, the nicer cut of meat you get. Like you start with just sirloin, then like fillet, and then like a giant tomahawk steak. It's high stakes mahjong.
I am living in Dave's dream.
A little bit. Yoko, we can chat about this stuff at the next meetup.
But so this is why there's been a lot of kind of buzz from me.
Yeah,
I've been super psyched about Dave has been psyched, but also stressed because he is investing a lot of his time and money into this project. So I really hope that even if we're not located in New York or near New York, we can really support him and to kind of help create the buzz. Just like people have stepped up at WRC, people who haven't attended WRC have really kind of helped me promote the buzz and supported that project, and I really hope we can help support Dave.
Honestly, everyone who is watching this stream and who has been watching this stream, like it's things like that, the fact that people come to watch us talk nonsense and chat with us and be our friends and hang out, like all these things make me just happy and feel that support. I really appreciate it. And again, hopefully with this space, like we have so many options. We'll be able to do so much more cool stuff for everyone. And I can drag everyone from Europe over, and I can drag everyone from Japan over, and I can be like, come with us in New York, and we'll have a big party, and it'll be great.
And you'll have to do a WRC qualifier now, because I
got to.
The Salt Lake City one was, it was progressive. I think it was a bit of a different idea, but it probably didn't work out quite as well as we'd hoped.
Well, Salt Lake was a new convention who wanted to get more things in the door, and it was an interesting idea. Yeah. The people there, again, nice people. I'd happily work with them again. I actually should reach out to them.
Yeah, I don't regret at all doing a qualifier there. It just sometimes things just don't work as much as you hope.
Yeah.
But you know what would work? A WRC qualifier in New York, because Europe could attend as well.
Well, we're working on getting our qualification standards together, so that's something we should be seeing some forward motion on in the next couple months.
Right, but qualifiers, remember, sit outside of that.
Oh, you mean a WRC affiliated WRC qualifier? Aha!
Those are extra seats.
Aha! I am psyched for that.
Exactly. Dave's just like, what, freebies?
Free seats. I'll host free seats. That sounds great. We'll get some free seats. Everyone come and win. I want my.
When I say free, I mean seats without the politics. Because if you've ever been involved in national organization quota distribution, it's just a whole level of hell that you never want to be involved in.
So what we're hoping is, there's going to be more work done. Please do, feel free to email me if you have contacts or potential partners or anything like that. I'd be super hyped to hear about it. We're going to be doing more decorations. So next week we should have more pictures and stuff, but we'll also have our meetup set up to go there. And here we go. Again, this is kind of a soft launch because we're finishing up all the branding.
I feel like Yoko was volunteering here for you.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see. Again, Yoko's been super helpful. But so yeah, we'll check it out. But thank you all for listening to my cool announcement. Sorry to be dragging it out for 2 and maybe even 3 weeks as we get more info.
Pictures next week.
Pictures are guaranteed for next week. We'll do pictures.
Thank you.
And we'll have Mahjong stuff in it and everything. It'll be great. We'll have it looking all nice. We even got a Roomba. We got a robot slave to vacuum it.
Oh, Roomba. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought we couldn't quite hear what you were saying then.
Yeah, Roomba.
You always Roomba, a robot slave.
We got a Roomba and it fell over.
Oh,
it fell into a hole and
does
just
it say
cried
like
all night.
I've fallen off a cliff?
It did. It fell into a hole and it was like, I can't move anymore. Someone come help me. And I'm like, my baby.
Why does your Roomba have a British accent?
Because I think of it. I don't know. It's just sad and alone.
You just want British people to be slaves, don't you? To make up for all of what we did to you guys. Yeah.
You didn't do it to me. You did it to lots of other people, but to be fair, you never did it to me.
But to the concept of America.
The concept. Yeah. You taxed us without representation. I can't believe you did that. And your fat king gave us our trend of not buttoning the bottom button of our suit jackets.
Oh, really? Was that?
Yeah.
It wasn't the crazy one who was doing that?
I don't know who did. I know.
Well, I feel like it's generous to call him the fat king. I think he was clinically insane.
You got a king now.
We do have a king.
Yeah.
He's been very quiet. Something about his son going.
He's writing a book about his dick. My struggles, subtitled with my penis. This is all him talking about his own genitals.
I got the audiobook because he narrates it, and I was like, I have to hear this in full cringe factor. I have to hear him narrating about his royal dick. Sorry, Todger. Royal Todger. Because there is nothing more cringy than some man talking about his Todger like he's 90 years old.
A little.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, on that lovely note.
On that wonderful note, thank you all for allowing.
If you're interested, do not call me. I am not interested in your Todger.
We should have a contest to name the Roomba. Actually, I think that'd be great. We'll have a vote. I'll do that.
There's got to be a mahjong pun name in there for your Roomba. I've got
Roomba name. Yeah, it's true. On Royal Fest of the time, it is. We have to go. So thank you all for putting the hot takes. We'll have more details next week, but for now, have a great afternoon, everybody. Post this news on our Mahjong. Yeah, once we get the web stuff up, we're going to be posting on our Mahjong. For now, it's kind of, again, right now it's kind of a soft launch of just like we're going to have our next meetup there. We're going to let the people come to the meetup know. And then within a week or so, we should have official stuff to post there with contact information and everything for people who want it.
I know,
so it's going to be coming out.
You've got the advance info because you guys are special.
Yeah, you who watch the stream get to know ahead of time.
I know.
Because we love you.
We do.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Again, I'm sorry. I'm really hungry. We got to eat.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week. And otherwise, thank you all for watching. Exciting news coming. Hopefully more exciting news coming. We love you all. And we'll see you soon.
Ganbatte.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, 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 bye.